Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high, get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners, and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. Welcome, Wappum Crew. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and I'm so grateful you can join me this evening. We are live from the Mile High Clubhouse tonight. It is Saturday, October 9th, Sunday, October 10th, for those of you across the pond and beyond. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, and welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. And happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadian friends out there. We like to fondly refer to them as Canalians. So I hope you guys had an awesome weekend so far. And thank you so much once again for joining us on one of our many outlets. If you're listening live right now, you're listening to us on KPNL Radio, which you can find at kpnl-db.com, as well as Spreaker.com, where a lot of our friends are in the chat room right now. Good evening, Mr. French. Good evening, brave Sir Robin. You may also find us, and hopefully you like and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Tumblr, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Deezer, Podcast Addict, and Podcast Chaser. And like I said before, make sure you follow, like, and flick that little bell on YouTube. And follow and like us on Facebook, Twitter, and StreamYard, please. So tonight I have a treat for all my guys and gals out there. Tonight we will be talking to and getting to know Mr. Neal Robicheaux. We're going to be talking about angels, aliens, and demons. I've been trying to contact him this evening, and I'm not sure what the crack is going on, but it's pretty crazy. So, hold on one second. Let me tell him to call me at... And if you guys would like to call throughout the show with Mr. Neal Robicheaux, feel free to. I think he prefers if you wait till the third hour, but I think if you have questions along the way, it's perfectly fine with me to call in, but the number is 970-335-9596. That's 970-335-9596. And I just sent that to Mr. Robicheaux, so hopefully he will be calling us soon, because I really hate being, just like sitting here waiting. But let me pull up his bio really quickly. And it's pretty interesting as far as like his mother's birth date, the date of her death. It's pretty amazing how many times that things basically kind of line up as far as numerically. But Neal was born on the 13th sign, spring, March 20th, the day of the cup, not of the cusp. 13 years of scientific research in invisible dimensions, living on a blind slave planet of Earth controlled by evil alien demonic races of the moon. Neal is the one that sees the invisible dimensions, and he also runs the page on Facebook known as Open Eye Project 2, and that's on Facebook as well as Twitter. So let me go over here real quick like. And it's odd. So my Skype says, excuse me, my Skype says that my mic is not working, but it appears it is, so we'll just ignore what Skype is saying. It's kind of having a little freak out moment right now, if you know what I'm talking about. You know Skype, you know. A lot of people are going to Zoom and other places in order to talk, but yeah, Skype for some reason just marches to a beat of its own drummer, and a lot of times that is not the greatest place for it to be, especially on this show. So, woohoo, another person born in March. Yes, and not only is Neal born in March, but my mother, my birth mother, she was born March 12th, and then my second oldest, who is now 17, she was born on March 12th as well. Oh, I got a call coming. I think it's Mr. Robicheaux. We're gonna start the show with Neal Robicheaux. I believe this is him. I believe I clicked it. Yes. Hello. Hey, Neal. How are you this evening? I'm glad finally getting through. I was just like, oh no, what's happening?
You must have called the wrong number.
I don't know, and that's why I was like, are you sure that's the number? And then I not only checked it once, twice, but 3 times, but I gave it that one up extra measure just to make sure I wasn't, losing my marbles. Did I put it in incorrectly? Yeah. I would tell you what the number is that I have written down, but, we're on the air, and I don't want to give out that information to everyone.
Are we on the air now?
Yes, we are. I had to start the show at 7 because we are broadcast on another radio network, so I can't not go on at 7. So, welcome to the show. And I read your bio and everything. Brave Sir Robin was in the chat room saying, woohoo, another person born in March.
Yeah, born on the day of spring. It's the 13th sign. It's in between the 12th zodiac and the first zodiac. So, you want me to start the story?
Well,
about
hold
the
on
open
one second, because to me, you sound like you're talking to me from Anda Ziwata. So let me just see if I can move your channel here.
Better.
Hold on one second.
Phone on the thing counter. I don't
yes.
think I have to
Okay, I fixed it. We're good. It's not you. It's the different settings on Spreaker, and I just realized this last week. Everybody was saying during storm that my voice was cutting out and it was real choppy, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And I got a cord, my mic, I did all this other stuff, and it was still doing the same thing. And then I realized it was just the setting here on Spreaker. They have like 4 or 5 different settings, and some settings are just a freaking mess. They shouldn't even have them. But we can hear you clearly now, which is wonderful, because I wait for our show to be destroyed by some damn technical issues.
Yeah, let me grab it. Do you want me to start talking about stuff, or you want to just ask some things, or what?
Well, like we discussed last night, perhaps we should start from the beginning. So I would like to know how you came to know the world of the paranormal. When did your first paranormal happening happen? When did you realize that the stuff that is going on in your everyday life was happening? That's where I'd like to start.
Yeah, well, one time when kids had left the house, and, I was married 17 years with my wife, and she wanted to control me, and she started just, because she didn't have no kids to control, so I lost my wife. And the first night I was at the apartment that I got, I moved out the house. I was looking at my baby book, and I saw my mother's death card, with the date that she died and everything. And she was born on the 27th. She died on the 27th. And she was 27 years old when she died. That's 3/27. And then she died on the 7th month, 27 of 67. But I didn't know the day of her birth yet. And I said, oh, my God, what if she's born on the same day? So I called my aunt, because I knew the day of her death was 27, and her age was 27, like the 27th Club. And that's when I woke up, because my awareness of the spirit world just opened up,
So before then, you really didn't have any encounters with the other side? Or the other dimensions?
When I was a kid, I used to fly out my window and sit on the roof and look at the stars and stuff.
So you were able to astral.
Yeah, I would fly. I remember flying through the window, sitting on the roof and looking at the stars and stuff.
That's awesome. I've only astraled twice in my life, and it was never intentional. The first time was when I was in the broken platoon in the Marine Corps, and it was really weird because I wasn't, in my younger years, it wasn't until the last 5 years that I really love and enjoy naps. But in my early years, I'm like, hell no, I might miss something, so I never liked to. But this particular day, I just felt really drained, and this was after, I think it was my first Ouija board experience, and I just felt really tired and drained, so I was like, I'm just going to lay down on this rack and take a really quick nap before chow. And then our sergeant called us to line up, and I could not move. Like, I could open my eyes, I could see the girls running past me from the head, which is right where I laid down, was on that rack there, which is not even my rack, so that was another weird thing. But I could not move, I could not get up, no matter how hard I strained or tried. I was just frozen. But right before that happened, I was kind of, I don't know, in an astral or other realm, and I was trying to walk and manipulate my body, but I couldn't, and it seemed to me like I was really, really drunk. And then the second time it happened, I was watching my friend's house and watching some paranormal shows because she had paid for certain channels, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get my paranormal gluttonous on. And I started getting chest pains, and I was like, what the hell? So I'm rubbing my chest, and I'm getting tired, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up on my hands and knees on the floor, and I'm trying to crawl, but I can't. I reminded myself of like a drunken baby, so I'm falling back and forth, and I can't do it. And then all of a sudden, zap, I was back in my body, and I woke up and I sat up, and I was just like, what the hell was that? But it was never intentional. I'm kind of afraid to leave my body because I feel like if I do, somebody else will check in while I'm out, and I won't be able to get back in,
Yeah, that's the very true thing, because see, the thing is, when people talk about astral body and leaving the body, they don't tell you about the dangers that's out there, because if you die out there, you don't come back. That's why I sleep with a sword and a knife in my hand every night, and I just pulled out my flamethrower, and I got my firecrackers ready in case they start attacking me.
Right? That reminds me of my daughter. She actually took a bat to bed with her, and we're like, what are you doing with that? Like, wouldn't you like this teddy bear or, one of your other toys? And she's like, no, because when I go to bed, I'm going to be killing zombies, so I would like to have my bat with me. I was like, that's my girl.
Yeah. But, I've been doing research for like 14 years. It's been over 14 years, ever since 2006, when I found out about my mother. And I've been doing research with crystals. I got, I caught a radio station one time when I faced my head toward north, and I laid the crystals, all around my body and stuff, and then I laid down just to meditate to see what would happen, and all at once I caught a radio station, and I thought it was someone that drove up where the farmland was, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, in the farmland or whatever, and I thought someone drove up. Damn, man, I'm trying to do an experiment,
Yeah,
I'm like saying
I'm trying to meditate
loud.
here. Could you just be quiet for a second?
Like, who in the hell? And then I realized, I said, shit, I'm hearing this in my head.
Yeah, and we were talking about that last night too. I was like, I've had that happen several times. I'll be going to my car, I'll have a song in my head, I'll be singing it out loud or within my head, and I'll get in the car, turn it on, and it's on the station. So I'm just like, okay, did I pick this up through my mind, or is it my damn fillings in my teeth that are picking this up? I only had like one at the time, so I'm like, what the hell is going on? But it's pretty interesting when that happens. So do you think because you were, using the crystals and you were in that state, that's why you picked up that station, or how do you think you did that?
Yeah, well, I researched crystals and found out they put crystals in radios. That's how they catch the frequency and stuff. And I started doing research on all kinds of stuff like that, like Nikola Tesla stuff. I actually went on a railroad track one time, and as I got close to the railroad track, my vision started to come in clearer. You know, it's like this railroad track had some kind of electromagnetic field. And I saw these invisible people laying on the track with their heads close to the rail, like they was trying to use that for some kind of communication or whatever. I don't know what they were doing. And I could see them. And it was like, wow, what the fuck, you know? So I stood around the railroad track and I tried to suck up the energy, pull the energy in my body to recharge myself, because I found out these spirits that get in your bed and your clothes, they suck your energy. That's why you feel so sleepy, and when you wake up, you know, you got to drink coffee to get up and shit. So the evil alien god called sin, and they probably got more than that, they telling these spirits to go in your house and suck all y'all energy to keep y'all down like a 2-volt battery, not a 12-volt battery. So I rode
You're
a
like one of
motorbike
those
and
little
did some
circle
research on
batteries
that
when they
too,
come around.
because, well, when you drive on a motorbike, it's called alchemy. You know, all my scientific research, every time I did it, it worked. I could see better. I could see, all my senses went up all the way to the 12th level, you know. And I did that for a year. And I saw all kinds of stuff. I mean, big giants fishing on the coastline. I seen stars, spirits talking in the stars. I see them in the trees. I see them underwater. That's what's so fascinating. How in the heck these spirits are underwater? And I know one reason why, because I'm manifesting the fire spirits to burn these evil ones. So some of them are getting in the water for one reason, so they don't burn up. So I've been at war with the moon and these evil spirits for a couple of years now. It's been a secret war. And like when I went to the coastline, I would drive in the country, you know, doing my field research for like 14 years or whatever. And I would drive all the way to the California coast, and I would throw them in the ocean with my eyes. I got these laser eyes that could move them, you know. So, and then I started fighting against the moon. I would close my eyelids and I could see them. They're harvesting humans on the moon. So I decided, okay, and they're helpless. They're on their back. You know, they did something to them where they can't move and stuff. And I would aim at them and I would throw them into the ocean, you know. So I've been at war with this evil alien race, demonic forces for a while.
So you were talking about when your mom passed and her age and all these other things that added up. So what was your very first experience right after that got you on this path? What exactly happened to you? Could you tell our listeners to where they can actually kind of paint a picture in their head, like what the heck happened and how did you get to this point?
Well, I started reading the Old Testament, and I said, you know what, I'm going to have to find out. I was going to try to break the code. I was going to try to understand it better since I was like born again or whatever. But, or I was waking up or whatever, and I started understanding things more. So I fasted for 7 months, and I read the Bible, the Old Testament, and after that I quit. And then I said, okay, you know, and then I left my wife. I went to go, you know, try to get back with my wife again, and I couldn't do it because she just still wanted to argue and stuff. And I was in bed calling out all these names of prophets and stuff. And then all at once this woman said, put lotion on you before you burn up like a French fry. And she was in the room. She wasn't in my head. She was in the room. I could tell this voice just started speaking. So I jumped up and I said, what the heck? And I noticed my body was like on fire. So I put this lotion on me like 3 times. And to cool off. My body was just burnt, hot. And that's when I realized, when I went to go do my driver's license test, that happened January 27th. See, that happened on the 27th again. I was born again by the test of fire, I call it, on
Right.
1/27 of 2006. And then when I went to the driver's license test, I could read the bottom letters of the driver's license chart, the letters. And I told the lady, I said, I want to read. She said, read that second line or whatever, or third line, I think. And I said, no, I want to read the bottom line. I can see it now. And that's when I realized my vision was like a brand new baby. And I had to wear sunglasses in indoor lighting. Like if I go to a bar at night, I had to wear sunglasses because my eyes were sensitive to light. For 2 years, I had to wear these sunglasses, So that's truly being born again. And the thing is, I could feel things. I could sense things more deeply. Everything was just elevated. I even wrote a book about it too. It's at Amazon. I didn't even worry about selling it. I just put it on the market, and I didn't even promote it. I just, put it on one of them programs where you could get it.
Yeah, what's it called?
An ebook, like an ebook thing.
Yeah, that way you don't have to have a softback or hardback. You can just read it on your computer, or if you have one of those cool little Nook books that are computerized, you can read it on there. But what is it called?
Yeah. Huh?
What is your book called?
Oh, The Circle of Truth. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that, like how you came to write that?
Well, I had to write it down because I wanted to leave a record. And I even, the American Book Writers of America in Los Angeles, I even did a manuscript, and I copied in there. So, copyright thing or whatever, and I even left it in there in case something might happen to me where they know that the aliens created humans with just 2 DNA strands. And the the 2 strands is the right hand and the left hand. See, I'm a scientist. I've been doing a lot of research on a lot of this stuff. So the right hand is sin, which is the moon spirit, and the left hand is angelic human. So they wanted to become more like human, or the power of human in the metrics that we live in. So that's why they connected their DNA with our DNA, And we're supposed to have 3 DNAs. I really believe that. And they took the 3rd strand out. So that's why we don't live long. And they put junk DNA inside of us. And you know what they do? They even put diseases in us. They put cancer in you. They actually have these invisible fucking demonic whatever, and they take cancer and they just go ahead and put it in you. They're fucking disgusting. They want us to die young and shit. They don't, This Earth is a slave planet.
Pretty intriguing, like, what happens to people that have these alien experiences? Are they putting it into our genomes, or is it just the process of us going onto the ship and being near that radioactivity? But I think a lot of aliens that are out there in space, there is so much radiation, and especially when you're going in and out of different worlds and such, and I think perhaps, their genetic strand grew weaker from space travel and doing these different things like going to different Earths or planets and visiting people. I think that it may have made it to where they can no longer reproduce, and so they're using us to continue their strand.
we lost the war, and they've been having aliens breeding with us too as well for thousands and billions of years or whatever. And we lost the war, and what happens is when they have a slave planet, they take all the technology and all the people that know technology, they take them on the moon or they send them to different planets as slaves, and then the children of humans live on Earth with the 2 DNA strands, not the 3 DNA strands. That's a slave planet, and that's what we're living on. Now, these Draco reptilian grays or whatever, there's no telling how many planets they have like this one planet, because this is a big universe, I could see X-ray. Look, I did a lot of scientific research, like X-rays. I looked at X-rays. I could see spirit in X-rays. They're little bitty beings. They got the little bitty people too. Everything's animated. I mean, every statue can talk. I mean, that's why God said, don't make images of nothing in heaven or above heaven. And Moses knew too. He knew the secret too. Because if you make an image of something, it actually would take that image from heaven or wherever it's at, in God or wherever that image is, and you would become stuck in that statue. And that statue would come to life. And then they might have a whole bunch of spirits getting in there too. Not just one spirit, but a whole bunch of them, Just like the serpent, when he raised the serpent up in the air, when Moses did that too, and whatever. But that's a whole nother experience.
Yeah, my daughter came back from playing D&D last night. My oldest daughter is pregnant. She's going to make me a grandmammy. I actually shared pictures of the little devil on Facebook last night. But I swear to God, I'm growing older every week. Like, I get more gray hairs, and my luggage under my eyes are getting bigger. And I'm just like, I'm not even a grandma yet. Why am I aging so quickly right now? I just feel like I'm aging really quickly. But it's pretty intriguing how different things do get into our system. And you were talking about certain of these, I don't know if it's aliens, demons, or ghosts in the water, so they don't catch on fire. But what better way to get into somebody's system than through water? But I told her, no, I don't go gaming anymore because last time I went, I got possessed. So I don't really feel like going back and doing that. I don't want to be back in that environment. Yes, these guys, Tom and Matt, are really great, but I don't like being possessed. It really pisses me off, and it's only happened to me twice.
They do that to me. What they do is they sit in your chair. So wherever my kingdom is, where my chair, where I'm sitting in heaven or wherever I'm at, they're sitting with me. That's how they roll. I mean, they got the name game thing too going on, where they take the good name, and it's chaos then. You take a good name that's a good spirit, you steal their name, and you get their blessing of that too. Because the name game, I don't trust nobody's name, really. The only person I do is trust is myself. I sleep with a sword and a knife. I got flamethrowers. I got fucking firecrackers. I mean, I got salt. I got sage. I mean, coffee.
You're strapped.
I throw coffee underneath my vehicle. I throw coffee, too. And they can't stand that shit, boy. When coffee gets on them, oh, man, that coffee attacks them like.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people listening to this, you've said that these are somewhat invisible. To you, when you see them, does it kind of remind you of the Predator? Like, as far as what that looks like when it's in its invisible phase?
Yeah, that movie Predator is a good way of looking at the ones that's in the trees, because that's how I see them all. There's a bunch of them, too, in the trees. And some of these are giant. Their head is big as a fucking school bus. Oh, I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't say that.
Oh, it's okay. This is an adult show. It's marked explicit. If people don't like cuss words, they should probably go somewhere else. So feel free to speak freely. If you want to smoke some weed, you want to drink some alcohol, whatever you need to do to get through the show, we're just here to hang out and have a good time. But yeah, feel free to speak freely and don't feel like you're muted because you're cussing. Because sometimes, like, when you're feeling the effects of something that you've gone through. Cuss words are a main thing we go to, and different ways of speaking, just to, you know, kind of put out the sense of feeling that we felt at that moment, you know?
And I went in the cotton field. I want to tell you about the cotton field in garlic. I started working with elements. Like, so I remember when God said he went upon the earth and he seen the darkness within the deep of the earth and all that stuff. And I did the same thing. I did experiment. I said, I found some elements of light and darkness, and I did it. I mixed it together, and I started burning the darkness for like 3 days. But I saw this big giant. He was stuck. He couldn't get out. And so I stopped doing it. And another thing is spirits were looking down upon the earth, and it says, oh, look, the darkness is burning up. So I got proof there's darkness still upon the earth. The other thing is I put a sheet on me, like a white sheet on me, okay? This spirit was looking down upon the earth, and, you know, we have parallel universes. So I'm all over the place, you know, in these universes, because I'm immortal. And he's looking down at me, because I know it's me, because I'm wearing this white sheet over me. He says, hey, man, how in the heck is that spirit of light living in darkness, you know? And I said, damn, that's some more proof, because I wanted to get proof of this darkness. And then I looked in the Bible. God talks about the darkness, putting the light in the darkness to separate the light from the darkness. And plus, Job talked about this darkness in chapter 3, I think, in detail, about all the spirits in the clouds with dread coming on earth because of this darkness. And then Paul, which is Saul, he said, we're fighting against this darkness that we walking in darkness, and that we're fighting against not with flesh and blood, but with powers, principalities and stuff in high places, you know. So I found a lot of proof, and that's a bunch of it right there. So I decided, okay, I went to Texas, and I said, damn, they got cotton fields. I said, shit. So I camped out in the field of cotton, and I lit 3 white candles, and all at once the cotton in the spirit world caught on fire.
Oh, shit.
It started illuminating.
So it didn't actually happen in real life, but it was in the spirit realm?
Yeah, it was in the spirit world. I saw the cotton. Some of the spirits that were following me, they were burning up. Yeah, I wanted to burn these goddamn spirits that keep on chasing me. They're following me. They're doing evil shit to me. So I cut it down because I didn't want to hurt the spirits that was in the cotton field, because that was a safe place for them, you know. And a lot of them spirits saying that he's taking us to the cotton field. Get away! We can't follow him and shit. So I loaded a bunch of cotton, right? And I threw cotton.
You're like, I'm taking this shit with me.
I found some cotton that was, you know, that was like they threw it away for garbage or whatever. And I started talking to I could talk to elements like cotton seeds or whatever. And one of the spirits in the cotton seed was saying that humans have forgotten about the elements, about what plants do what, you know. And they said, you found out about cotton now, you know. So, but, yeah, so that was another experiment I did, because everything I do, it works for some reason, you know. But they do have this Prince of Darkness. The reason why they call it the Prince of Darkness, they got some kind of technology the aliens have where they could move through this darkness easier than we can. See, this darkness is like glue. It's like sticky glue, like fly paper or some shit. So you can't really move that fast. But some spirits can. I seen a vampire move so fucking fast. And I was sitting in my seat, and this vampire was in my passenger seat. And he was talking to me, and all at once, man, he just went and behind me. And then later on that night, he had tied these 2 werewolves. They had 3 werewolves he caught. He tied them up in my vehicle. And the werewolf saying, I started talking to the werewolves, and they said, damn, I didn't know they were that fast or some shit. I don't know. I guess he must not ran into them before. And he said, can you untie us? I said, I can't see the fucking ropes. I can see them, but I can't see the ropes, you know? But they got all kinds of creatures. They got Medusa women. They have Medusa men, too, as well. They have centaurs I've seen, octopus up over the ocean. A salmon was swimming in the ocean, up above the ocean. They got an ocean above the ocean. Like, I called it Atlantis one time because I was on the beach when I was doing the motorbike research. They had the Planet of the Apes people that you could tell they were human apes. And, whatever. But they didn't look like a gorilla, but, they looked like humans. And these one spirits that were white, they came. I seen them far to the left, way over there. And one of them came fucking around with me on the beach. Started fucking grabbing me and shit like that, right? And the gorilla lady and all them people that was on top of the ocean was watching it. And then the fucking asshole went back to where he was and was like laughing about it. And all at once, this spirit came down from heaven and grabbed his ass and started dragging him off. And then I was watching the gorilla, like watching it. Like, oh shit, you shouldn't have been fucking with that dude, motherfucker. And he was dragging his ass off, screaming. Yeah. I was kind of glad too, motherfucker. I was glad that spirit grabbed his ass. He must have tied him on his fucking feet or something and was dragging him off.
The lasso of truth or some shit. I'm going to haul your ass away.
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't want to... Oh, yeah, the garlic bath. I did research on my garlic bath stuff.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder because you were talking about, how these different spirits drain your energy. And then also in real life, there are vampires. I have met some, but they're energy vampires. It's just like anytime you're around these people, they just drain your energy. Robert White in the chat room was talking about what you just said, and he's like, that was a holy ass kicking. Come on, man, boy. You're going to go up to the fields. The fields in the sky. I'm going to burn your ass.
Well, they do make you sleepy. Sometime I was talking to some people on my travels, and all at once I get this sleepy thing. And they found out who I was, and they wanted to live inside of my body, And all at once I just get this sleepy feeling. Like, you remember you was talking about how you got sleepy? What happens is these spirits get in you, and it makes you sleepy, like, for some reason, But when I took a bath with garlic, I'm a scientist. I did research with sage, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different elements. And I took a bath with garlic powder, just, poured it all in there, got it nice and warm like salt water. And it's better to use salt water to pull all these bad spirits out of you first and then do the garlic. And
that's a good idea. So you're cleansing with salt first, and then you're doing your garlic bath.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
That's interesting.
And because you flush them down the drain or whatever. And then when I did the garlic thing, my body came back to life, and I felt like I was 18 years old. I mean, my energy was so big, I didn't even have to sleep. I mean, for 3 months it was like that, but every time I rubbed the garlic on me when I do showers, when you do it the first time, you could feel the difference. But after you do it the second time, like once a month, you can't feel the difference.
Yeah, it's kind of like a regular routine sort of thing. It's not like the first time or the second time.
Yeah, it's like a virgin. I call it the virgin garlic bath. And the thing is, I saw spirits that was in my foot. I could see spirits in people's feet, in their body, wherever. I could see them in oranges. I could see them in trees. Well, one of the spirits was saying, "Get me out of here." They all come back to life. So whatever these evil spirits were doing coming in my body, they were killing part of me, and whatever was in me, it came back to life. You see what I'm saying? That's why I felt so good, It
well, yeah, it's kind of like a rejuvenation or whatnot. And it's interesting, what do you think it is about garlic that gets rid of them?
I don't know. Garlic is like it makes you come back to life. I heard a Russian woman they found a woman. She was, I don't know how old she is, 25,000 years old. She was in this liquid, and it was garlic. It had garlic, some of the stuff that was in it. It was like she was laying in this garlic bath. Her face looked real young or whatever. It preserved her or something. And then that woman that was, where was it? Lucy, that Chinese woman that they found.
Mussolini? Is that what you're going to say?
In that spaceship on the moon.
Oh, okay.
She had this stuff in her lungs. She had something that preserved her body, and they brought her back to life.
Well, and then Sharon in the chat room said, garlic kills everything. I love garlic. My son-in-law, who is my daughter's baby daddy, who's going to make me grandmammy, he made some chili, and I actually added a spoonful of garlic to mine because I just love it. But it's supposed to make you healthy, like when you ingest it and do different things like that, or like you said, bathe in it. It's healthy in so many different ways. But she was wondering, have you ever drank holy water?
Drank what? No, hell no. I'm not going to drink that shit. I don't know what the hell they put in that shit.
Well, and everybody, like, puts their hands in it and, I don't know. Yeah, I've never tried it, but I'm like, that's interesting. Like, if you ever have things take you over, which, like I said earlier, I've had that happen twice, but could you imagine drinking that? How the spirits that do inhabit you would react? I don't know. I think you can make your own holy water, too. It's just all in your intention and your belief.
Well, I don't know what they put in the water. I do a lot of scientific research, like quantum consciousness. I'm at the quantum level. I could move these spirits with my eyes. I mean, when I feel them grabbing my legs, when I'm laying down in my van, I get out my vehicle and aim underneath my vehicle and throw them, and I could see them flying through the air. It's kind of like peeling an onion. That's what aggravates the shit out of me. I can't get them all in one push. I push and I throw them out, and I throw them out up in the mountains or in the stars and shit, and it's like an onion. There's still spirits in there. So I don't know if I get the guy unless I fucking do it like 20 times or 10 times and try to get the bad one, the one that's attacking me and shit. Because I feel physical pain. And the thing is, doctors can't explain about people when they get chronic pain. It could be a spirit. Because I met a girl one time. She let me borrow her tarp or something. And for some reason, I don't know, for a day, and I gave it back to her. And she said her legs every morning or every night she sleeps, her legs would just go into this pain and cramps and all that shit. And I knew something from her. And the same thing happened to me. Something was attacking me. It was spirits or whatever. And I gave that shit back to her. I said, man, and I told her, look, they got some bad spirits attacking you. That's what's giving you them cramps. So a lot of pain that we're getting, it's not, you don't get physical pain from something, from nothing. Someone's giving it to us,
Yeah.
And they actually hurt you. These spirits could actually hurt you, man. I mean, that's why I got a flamethrower and a sword. I swing my sword and my knife a lot of times in my van.
Yeah. I don't know, that reminds me of a story my husband told me. Okay, so we used to live in this A-frame up in Tween Lakes, and there was a lot of not very good spiritual activity up there, and my daughter used to say it was Mommy E and Baby E, because that's the sound they would make. E. And when he was single and living in that house, he said he had this crazy dream about ghosts, and they were lifting his mom up to the ceiling and all this other shit, and he broke out his samurai sword, and he was swinging it around, shing, 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 and, you know, trying to cut up these ghosts and stuff, and I guess it was working, I'm not sure, but then he woke up and he was actually standing on his bed with a sword, and I was like, thank God I wasn't there. But in that very same house, like, I almost ran out the freaking bedroom. I sat up, I said, no, 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 and then I stood up and I ran towards the window. Had I jumped out the window, had he not grabbed me, I would have jumped out that window, and I would have probably fucking died, because that was about a 30 to 40 foot drop, and I would have been diving for sure out that window. But luckily he caught me. There was so much crazy bad energy in there.
Well, here's some other research I found out that I just stumbled on because I was doing research out there, you know, see spaceships and stuff. And I started looking around. I went to an Indian reservation where some springs were, and they had dinosaur stuff and all that. And I was sort of looking in the mountains. I seen all these faces of giant humans laying all over. Their chin was the top of the mountain. Their chins up because the pressure of the bomb or the meteorite was so strong it knocked them back, and they were screaming probably. And you could see their chin and their nose, their eyebrows, and all that shit. And everywhere I go, from California all the way, because they got a lot of desert until you get to the east. And there's not so much desert. It's a lot of trees. All these mountains, like Quartzside, they're all dead corpses of giants and dinosaurs, you know? And I thought I was going to win a Nobel Prize or something. I started looking at stone giants or whatever. And then they already have some people, what's her name? Mountains Were Alive. You get on YouTube, and she's got like a whole archive. I mean, all over the world, South America, everywhere, where these animals and giants were turned into stone. So I said,
that is awesome. Because we were talking about that last night, and I've told you about the Sleeping Ute Mountain, which is a giant that is supposed to rise and kill all the white man because, you know, we're all evil. But then going to Phoenix, Arizona, there are Navajo lands and stuff that I have to go through, and there's one specific place where there's not only a bird's head like kind of peering up to the sky, but then there's a panther coming down the side of the canyon, and I was like, these are totally animals that are frozen in stone. I mean, you can see it. I can see it, but it's amazing to me.
The thing is, the reason why a lot of us can't really see it that good is that atom bomb or that meteorite, whatever it was, they destroyed this planet in a war long ago because the giants were so big, they were greater than a god or whatever. I mean, you don't understand. I'm small, and look what I could do. Imagine if I was a giant and I could do what I could do. I mean, the aliens would be scared of me if I was that big. And that's why they're attacking my body and stuff, because I'm fighting back. Because one time I saw, you know, that Tarzan dude, mine too, why they're after me, you know.
For some reason, we're buffering pretty bad right now.
Nothing, but I told him I was going to be on the show, you know. Be quiet. Don't say what you know, don't tell me, you know, don't say nothing. Like, I'm in too far deep. I mean, you're going to say, well, where is he at? And it might be where they're going to say, you're going to have to shut up from now on now. So this might be the last show I do. Because if I start working for the Space Force, I can't talk no more, you know?
Well, yeah, and that's like a lot of people, whether in the Naval or especially Air Force, you know, there's some sort of gag order. You're not supposed to talk about things that you experience while you're on duty, but there's so many things that people are seeing these days, and I'm so grateful for the ones that do leak the information out because, you know, it kind of feels like the government, you know, they're acting like they're our parents. Perhaps they're lying to us to protect us, but I'd rather know the truth and know what's coming than to be ignorant to it in the end, you know, and I think they need to share this information. So I'm so grateful for the History Channel and other places like this that are sharing the information and trying to get us ready for what is going to inevitably happen. We need to be able to see it coming and know how to deal with it.
the stuff that I'm doing that I found out later, this is the weirdest part. This is like really far out, okay? Okay, I knew I could talk to dead animals, but I just didn't try it yet. I'd just been putting it off because it would freak me out really bad. So I'm driving down the road, like Montana or Wyoming or whatever, and I see a dead deer, and she looks pregnant. I got my big knife, you know? And I said, well, what if it's a baby in there? And so I got out the car, I went to the deer, and she started talking to me. She says, I got to go help Sirius. It's like, oh, shit. And it's like, oh, fuck, she's talking to me. And that's when I realized, you know, and then it freaked me out so bad, I just fucking walked. I kind of tried to kick the stomach to see if it moved, and I said, shit, I'm not going to be able to do this. If the damn deer is still alive, and I'm going to cut her belly open, you know, I probably should have talked to her more. It says, do you have a baby that's still alive in you? You know, I should have. But it freaked me out so bad, I walked away. And then later on, about a year later, I saw another deer, and it was a male deer. And so I said, stop fucking, I'm going to go talk to this deer. Yeah. And I went to talk to him. He said something about this Sirius dude, too. And he said, I said, you're still stuck in your body, though. Why you not out of your body? And he says, I can't get out or something, whatever. And he says, can you pray for me?
Wow.
Because I got these laser eyeballs, and I throw shit out of my van all the time, right? So I start throwing stuff off, and as I'm squinching my eyes, I can see these spirits piling on top of them. And one spirit looks like something with a big mouth, has his mouth around him, around his stomach. That's it. As I'm throwing these spirits, I tell him that. I said, why are all these spirits on top of you and stuff? And I said, I'm going to keep on trying. I'm going to throw them off. So I started throwing them off. And then all at once I threw one time, and I saw this stiff, you know, how he was laying, flying through the air. And I said, hey, I got you out. Talking. He's still there. You know, I said, oh, shit.
For some reason, you're breaking up, so we are our first musical break. On this break, we got Griff with Let Freedom Ring. Then we have Chico with Last Musical. I'm so grateful for him. He's going to be singing Subliminal. Then we'll have Juice again, or Chico again singing Juice. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this musical break.
Okay, yo, here's the scoop. You can still be a slave, yo, whip and loop. That's the truth. Got big houses, nice cars. That's real cute, but it doesn't mean nothing. You ain't free to choose. When I say free to choose, no alarm clock, don't gotta hit the snooze. The world is backwards, I'm so confused. They say freedom of speech, but when you speak your mind, they blow a fuse. Just being honest, common sense and common. It's kind of ironic. My freedom, I recently bought it. Now I'm a target if I do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing. Come on, man. Let freedom ring. Yeah. United States become divided states. The world is filled with all kinds of shades, and still resegregate. Parents separate from the children, that's not okay. We should be free to laugh and play. Do it now before you pass away. Fight for what's right, enough for everybody to get a piece of the pie. Brainwash, social media full of lies. Go to work, pay bills, then you die. Need a breakaway, guns, get rid of the AKs. Our ancestors paved way since the slave days, but we still hurting. Carry that burden. Stop. playing victim, beat the system. Love is love, it should be shown. Can't grow unless you leave your comfort zone. This I know, I learned all this from the mentorship. Kids don't know what independent is. Take advantage what your parents did. Go against the grid, you have to. Like going to the bathroom, learn the right songs. Cause of Matthew, liberty like statue. They call now the present, cause it's a gift. It should be cherished, last name fearless, not Harris. All thanks to my parents' parents. Now, love the last name every time that I hear it. Cause I know what it represents. Climb the fence, so now I got freedom. Such a beautiful thing. Freedom. Such a wonderful thing. Freedom. Such a beautiful thing. Freedom. Such a wonderful thing.
Last forever. see you, Roy Washington, man. What's happening, man?
Yeah. Yeah. They never say it in words, but in deeds wars declare. Justice is gone and the sight's none is spare. Especially the kingdom encased in melanin. But these suckers are weak, kings and queens will ride again. Come on. Slackers with badges, the white sheets and the maggots. Watch them fall as I tag them because I'm better than average. A sharp shooter with words with my eye to the scope. Can they escape when I've donned the black cape? Is hell no. I'm a ninja for right, who can vanish from sight. Pick you off in the night, but still the Lord is my light. Perceiving all you see, the truth behind the scenes instead of jumping bandwagons, the light says believe in me. Cause you're a puppet, no doubt. 45th turned you out. Though I saw your lips moving, no sound came out. So I was sent from the heavenlies, born so you could find me. Swam the scene and stream, took flight during the 90s. Landed in grace, wrote a verse of hip hop. Got with Jay and found the taste was smooth as butterscotch. We had hood love and money. Problems, they be on me, but we stayed in the flow. And had juice like Manolo.
They can try to oppress, you can try to impress. I'm just after success, none less. You can look in my eyes, you can feel in my vibes. Clean down inside and it's so sentimental. I got God on my side, I ain't worried about none. If it ain't about money, then it ain't about none. Laughing at my enemies, I know they see me coming. If it ain't subliminal, they can't even see me. Politics abolish it, I'm here to raise the conscience. For every face and race up in this nation trapped in poverty. Diamond in the rough, need to cut, shape it and polish it. Bad thoughts cripple life, we can just be an optimist. We can be an optimist, reconstruct apocalypse. Broke people always hating, mix me with that gossiping. Rose up in the concrete, rain and sun, I'm blossoming. My people need to be like kind of Velcro, then we conquer it. They can try to oppress, you can try to impress. I'm just after success, none less. You can look in my eyes, you can feel in my vibes. Clean down inside and it's so sentimental. I got God on my side, I ain't worried about none. If it ain't about money, then it ain't about none. Laughing at my enemies, I know they see me coming. If it ain't subliminal, they can't even see me coming.
The 45th is a joke, and he's weak in disgust. He plans to divide, but there's no stopping us. If we have to fight, go toe-to-toe for our lives, we prevail and got sight, cause only light I recite. I blow my lyrics like a shotgun, camouflaged inside the tracks. Now watch the suckers will point to me. Even when surrounded by a million MCs, I'm the one under the sun who's the greatest of these. I got the Holy Ghost juking and tapping while I'm rapping. It can happen. Even animals move when the novelist is rocking. My doggy started barking, his ears just a flopping. Subliminally, I penetrate camps like an enemy. Flicking the lights, cancel sight, cause you're not seeing me.
They can try to oppress, you can try to impress. I'm just after success, none less. You can look in my eyes, you can feel in my vibes. Live a king down inside and it's so sentimental. I got God on my side, I ain't worried about none. If it ain't about money, then it ain't about none. Laughing at my enemies, I know they see me coming. If it ain't subliminal, they can't even see me coming. Juice. Get a vibe. Big dreams, big money back. Ate up. I think I got juice. I think I'm that hitter. They say I'm the man. I say, how do you feel? I think I'm the I think I'm that hitter. They say I'm the man. I say, how do you feel?
Don't let drip, don't let drip, don't let drip. Don't let drip, don't let drip, don't let drip. Don't let drip, don't let drip, don't let drip.
Juice. Handmade, get bucks for me. Drop the soda can, she got a crush on me. Little mama so in love with me. Even tall, look up to me.
Little, but it never mattered. Got these haters pissed. I control their bladder, come across you. It's a chance to scatter. Henny on the house like a fucking ladder. See your man. Yes, I had to back her. She was being extra up and coming active. Beat it out the frame and let the glass shatter. Beat it out the frame and leave a flabbergasted.
I think I got juice. I think I'm that hitter. They say I'm the man. I say, how do you feel? I think I'm the I think I'm that hitter. They say I'm the man. I say, how do you feel?
Don't let drip, don't let drip. drip, don't let drip. Don't let drip, don't let drip, don't let drip. Don't let drip, don't let drip, don't let drip. Fly guy catch flight, well connected, high five. Johnny Gill, my bad chicks, my type. Pull up like Huggies, they mug. Pull up like Huggies, they love me. Pull up like Huggies, cause I'm the shit. MC Hammer can't touch. Off that fifth hen like I slice a chicken, I was practicing. I'm a mathematician, call me Michael Bibbins. I'm a new addition, not a Buddhist. Don't wear true religion, yeah, I spit a lot. Like my tooth is missing, and she gave me. Now her roof is missing, I'm the bomb, baby. Now the proof is ticking, be calm, baby. We in a new dimension.
I think I got juice. I think I'm that hitter. They say I'm the man. I say, how do you feel? I think I'm the I think I'm the hitter. They say I'm the man. I say, how do you feel?
Don't let drip, don't let drip, don't let drip. Don't let drip, don't let drip, don't let drip. Don't let drip, don't let drip, don't let drip.
Juice.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Tonight we're joined by the one and only Mr. Neal Robicheaux. Welcome back, Neal, and thank you so much for hanging out with us and letting us know like what you have learned through these different realms and the different things that are going on in our world.
Yeah, there's some other scientific things that I wanted to tell people, like closing the eyelids, looking through the eyelids. It activates your third eye. I started doing this for like a month and just steady closing my eyes, trying to look through my eyelids when I go walking or whatever, and I look at people trying to see what I could see, you know. And there's been like more than 10 times when I close my eyelids, I could see in color, you know, the spirit world, you know. I couldn't see the people, you know, physical things, but I could see everything spiritual, but it was like in color. It's like, wow, what the hell? And I figured out, I said, look, I got to tell people about closing your eyelids and trying to see, you know. But what happens is you see these white, gray, black shades of gray, whatever, you know, a lot. But there's times when you actually see in color, you know. Like when I seen that demon reaching his hand in the toilet at the pilot station, you know, the gas station. Thank God I had my machete with me. And I think what he was doing, he's trying to collect the men's balls and jerking their balls off, or that's how they pull you out the spirit, out the body, you know. Because I think about everything that's scientific. There's two reasons maybe. Either he's collecting their nuts, their balls, you know, whatever, and jerking their balls off when you take a shit, or that's how they pull you out the body, you know. So, and what happened was, I had my machete, you know that dude in the Matrix, Neil, how he got that long trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had one of them. And I stuck that machete, I cut a hole in the pocket where I could fit it in the pocket. Because I was running into a lot of powers and principalities, you know. And I aimed at that spirit, that demon's red hand. He got long fingernails and shit. And it's red. He was naked, too. He wasn't wearing clothes. And I aimed at his hand and threw him over the stall. I pulled him out of that fucking toilet, whatever, and jerked his ass up and threw him over the stall. And I had to close my eyes again. I had my hand on that fucking stall. Now, that wasn't a good idea to do, you know. And he started coming at me with his fucking, when I closed my eyes, I could see him in color, you know. And I swung my sword right when he was coming at my head. He was going to grab my head with his right hand, and I cut his arm off, you know. And then I saw them putting a human angelic arm on him, you know, because demons are not angelic. That's why they're collecting our bodies and shit. because we could heal, rejuvenate or whatever. Yeah, I mean, that was a trip. And another thing is, I went...
Yeah, Robert was saying in the chat room that you could be Neo's brother, No-No. No, demon! Now I'm going to have to kick your ass. Let me show you a little Robicheaux.
Yeah, and that's one reason why they're probably after me, because I cut that dude's arm off. You know?
Yeah, that's messed up. Like they're trying to get revenge or something.
On me.
That's not good.
Well, another experiment. Now we can go back to a lot of stuff we talked about, but let me finish with the night vision. And I was doing experiments with the railroad tracks, the crystals, the trees, using the energies and stuff. And then finally I said, you know what, I'm going to turn on my night vision. And I didn't know it would work or not. And I said, I'm going to go out in the, where no tree, no light, camping when there's no light, no skitty, whatever. And I'm going to turn on my night vision. And I went out there and I did it. And ever since then, I could see particles in the atmosphere, in the fan. I could see, it's like night vision, when night comes. And I think everybody could do it. They just have to, I think your body is like a program. We're half electronic and we're half flesh and blood, So if you don't know that you have some kind of powers and you don't turn it on, you're never going to have it. You see what I'm
saying? For me, it kind of reminds me of when I was in combat training and we did night reconnaissance. That was my favorite because I have really good night vision. And, so long as somebody doesn't turn on their cell phone or flick a lighter or turn on their flashlight right in my face or something, it works really, really good. But yeah, that was my favorite, doing that. I was really good at it. I'm still today regretting and very disappointed that when we did field exercises and we're sweeping for mine lines, so you have to sweep up and down with your hand trying to feel if there's any mine lines, and I got through there first, and it freaked me out because I was alone. So I ran back towards the tree line, back where everybody else was, and they're like, no, come back. Like I should have just gone through. And I always think about what would have happened had I gotten through before everybody else. But, yeah, everybody was just having a good time with it and joking around and, playing grab ass and stuff. And I was, like, seriously going through there, filling the line and seeing what's around me. And they even did live ammunition over our heads, the tracer rounds. But, yeah, night vision is pretty awesome. And like you said, we all have it. It's just a matter of honing in on it and building on it.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to go teach the military forces like Space Force and stuff. I'm talking to this dude that's in the military, and he said something about he could probably get me into the Space Force as a civilian.
That'd be cool.
Because I'm too old to go through basic training, And I said, look, I am an invisible analyst, so I am at the top of my field. You know what? They don't even have... This name I just told you doesn't exist yet unless it's in the military. Because I've seen a super soldier, too. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, as far as military goes, I'd rather be a civilian instead of a citizen because I don't have to deal with all the bullshit. If I could still work there and make good money, I'd do it. So if you can hop on that train, for sure do it.
Oh, yeah, but the thing is, he's telling me I got to be quiet. He's like, don't.
Shh.
Because I told him some stuff. I said, look, I'm going to be on your show. I told him to try to get on it and listen. And I said, I don't have no choice but to go military and save the world and save Americans and stuff, because I flat out told him, dude, I could talk to a dead alien, okay? Or a live one. I don't care. Just let me do my job, So... But one day you're going to be hearing about that. This is probably the first time you ever heard of anybody saying that they are an invisible analyst. You know, that's probably gonna be a new word in the dictionary.
An invisible what?
Analyst.
Analyst. Okay. Well, it's
someone that
interesting.
They analyze that's their field. It's like a doctor, or MD doctor or whatever. It's the top of your field.
I'm an invisible technical analyst. MD. I'm trying to think what my daughter used to say. I'm Dr. McKenzie, LDS or LSD. And we're like, indeed you are.
Well, you know how they had Isaac Newton, and you had Einstein and William Casey and Nikola Tesla, and you had Einstein and all that stuff. I'm just the next step up, of something new. That's all it is.
Yeah, just a different realm.
And I have a lot of confidence in myself, and I could teach people how to see too. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, Robert says invisible analysis, analyze invisibly.
Well, analyst is someone that analyzes stuff that's pretty much top of your field kind of thing. I'm at the top of my field because the thing is, it doesn't exist yet. And that's why when I got in touch with the FBI and they turned off my phone in the desert, and later on I saw this invisible RoboCop, or looked like Halo dude with armor. He had armor on. Big old dude. I mean, armor all over him. And the thing is, I couldn't tell if it was human or alien, because he was fully armored, but he was invisible. As long as he walked around, it was 50 yards in front of me. He walked right in front, and this was planned. This had to be planned. I don't think this was no coincidence. He just walked across in front of me. I was on the side road, on the highway or whatever, and he stopped right after. And then all at once, I couldn't see him no more. As long as he stood still, you can't see him. So, I mean, I have seen some amazing things, but that's one of the freaking amazing things. But the bad thing is, I don't know if it was human. That's the bad thing. So if the government doesn't have that technology now, they're going to say, oh, shit, we got armored fucking invisible people out in the desert walking around,
Yeah, you've seen and heard about those invisible cloaks online, and, a lot of people are saying, oh, that's Photoshop, it's totally fake, doesn't exist. But I do remember when I was in the military, there's a certain pattern on your camis and, certain lines, certain topographs, so on and so forth, and it's like, why are these lines this way in my camo uniform? And they said because certain satellites cannot pick up that thread. Basically, the way it looks, it kind of makes you invisible to enemy satellites. So that to me was intriguing. But to have the whole invisibility cloak or whatever going on would be very interesting. Or armor, like you were saying.
The U.S. government probably has over 100,000 patents that's secret, that no one knows about. It could be over 100,000, and that's just a little, number I shot up in there. I'm not saying that, because every little device that makes something work, that's part of the patent, So that could be, it could be 1,000, it could be 100,000, And
well, it was interesting.
The alien.
Yeah, it was interesting to me because not only have you reached out to me with this, but I've had other people send me pictures of, hey, can you see this being in the trees? And they're pointing out, different places where these beings are, and there's so many different pictures. And then I listen to ghost stories at night to get to sleep because I have tinnitus since a couple years ago. I gained the gift of tinnitus. And so I have to have some sort of sound when I'm going to sleep because the silence is just so deafening to me. and it really drives me nuts, so I have to listen to something. So I'll listen to stories, and there was a woman that was talking about her experience seeing this predator sort of creature, and then her dad brought home Predator for the family to watch on movie night or whatnot, and she's like, Dad, are these things real? Not telling him what had happened to her, and he said, oh no, this is totally like fictitious, this is Hollywood. But she had witnessed it as a child, and then as an adult she went out on her back porch to smoke, and she saw this thing up in the tree. She saw it at first, then it disappeared, and then the neighbor's dog ran towards it and started barking at it, and then she could see it again. But yeah, there's so many different people that do witness these. I don't know if they're alien life forms, demons, or whatever the hell they may be, but they do have this sort of a shield or way to be invisible to the naked eye unless you have that sort of gift of perception.
Yeah, they got this lady named Gina Hill. She takes photographs of spaceships all around the sun and stuff like that. She could see these things in the clouds too. And I actually talked to her in person one time, and I gave her, I said, look, I could see them in the trees, I could see them in the clouds, I could see them in the stars. And one day, it was a half a moon, and I looked up in the moon. See, sometimes when you look at things in a different way or different perspective, you could see it. And I looked at the moon, it was like half a moon, and I looked at the stars, and the stars were closer than the moon. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the first time I ever seen that. And I was going, what the heck? I looked at it again, and it says, how in the hell these stars are in front of the moon? So some of these stars are not stars, okay? I have seen meteorites where it looked like photon torpedoes flying like a Star Trek and shit, and it hits something and then it knocks them back and shit, like these big giants, where that's in space up there. And I looked at NASA photographs of giants so big that their eyeball is bigger than the galaxy. Just their eyeball. So whatever created this universe, they're fucking big, huge, gigantic. I mean,
yeah, and that's where I come from as far as mythology. I'm like, I don't think it's a myth at all. I think these gods actually did exist. They're giant beings. And even in the scriptures, God says, ye shall have no other God before me, meaning that there are other gods. He's not the only one, but he is our creator. You know what I mean? So, he's kind of a jealous fella. He doesn't want you to follow other gods. He wants you to pay attention mostly to him. But all of these things that have been recorded in history are recorded for a reason. And then people talk about Nephilim, which are when angels mated with humans and created giants. There have been giant skeletons found, and I do believe that they do still exist, kind of in one way or another.
Yeah, and the thing about, I started doing research on the galaxies, the planet. And I saw, I got a video of Venus, and I started looking at it. I said, damn, what's that big bulge? And I started doing research. It only rotates 28 days for one day. Okay? So, and it was flipped upside down. Okay? That means none of the planets spin that way. And it's spinning so slow. And I saw this big giant bulge, and I said, damn, that's got to be an invisible, war planet or something, or some kind of device that went inside the fucking planet, flipped it over. I mean, I'm talking about these things are huge. The spaceships that they have, like the moon that's up there, that's a spaceship. These spaceships are bigger than the moon. Okay? Huge, gigantic stuff. And I saw some of it. But
that is not a spaceship. That is the Death Star, good sir. I'm just kidding.
Well, whatever it is, if you research Venus, you're going to see for yourself that big bulge in it. And it shouldn't be spinning that slow. Okay?
Well, and it's pretty crazy because it reflects or refracts, whatever term you want to give it, white, red, and blue. And it just does it repeatedly. And it's like, how does this one planet keep reflecting these different colors. I don't know if it's what's on its surface or in the atmosphere or whatever, but it's not just a white shining star. It'll blink white, red, and blue.
And then look what happened to Mars. That thing is completely desert. It's not like Earth, but imagine all the desert from California all the way to Africa and all that desert we have. Imagine if the whole planet was desert. That's what Mars turned into. It's completely pretty much dead. And then you got the planet between Mars and Jupiter, which is the asteroid belt. They blew that planet up. Boom. Why do you think all them rocks are, in that orbit? Like that?
There was a major space war going on back in the day, and I totally believed that when I saw that fracture on Mars. I was like, this is totally from war. A war happened, a lot of people died, and made the planet inhabitable, basically.
Yeah, we're slaves on this planet now.
We're Martians on Earth.
Well, you remember the Delphi Wars? You had all these Marines, dude, and this scientist, what was his name, Phil Snyder or whatever, was wondering why we got all these military Marines and all that shit. And one of the laser beams stopped working because they were making tunnels with a big giant laser. And it quit working. And then he went down with one Marine dude, and they ran into aliens, and he got shot with some kind of laser beam. He said the aliens just rubbed his stomach.
Yeah, my husband was telling me about this on the way to Texas. We had to go through New Mexico, and we went a different route than going to Albuquerque. We went the more scenic and beautiful route, and I have pictures still to share from there, but he was talking about how that guy got fed down the hole, and he said he came in the middle of a war, and there was, lasers and bullets and all kinds of stuff happening, and yeah, total war under the ground of the earth. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yep. So that's why I need to be, what I need to do is I got to go to a meeting with the aliens. If they got some kind of conference and we got to meet up, they need to bring me in there. Not telling nobody, like a secret. But just let me use my telepathy and find out, I can let them know what's going on. And then if the aliens get out of line and say some bullshit lies and say, oh, you son of bitches, got a bunch of fucking goddamn liars, and say it to their fucking face, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's different theories that there are, I used to think maybe 2 or 3. People are saying over 100 different alien species out there, probably even more. But perhaps we're having that war with this species because of things that we've done, fire first, then ask questions later. Or is it something totally different? Because I know there's aliens with good agendas and there's aliens with not so good agendas. And that's why there's been, even in ancient paintings, there was one with the Mother Mary holding the little baby Jesus, and there's buildings around, and in the background in the sky, there's 2 different aerial craft having a fucking war. So, this war between aliens and humans and aliens have been going on forever, and it makes me wonder, what are they fighting for? Is it over, certain goods that are on this planet? Is it because, they want to be the ones mating with the human race? There's so many different freaking questions. I don't even know where to start. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, a lot of this stuff is the spiritual realm that the humans that are part in this part of the universe or whatever, this is what I found out. If you're wearing clothes, you need to wear blue clothes, white clothes, gold clothes, whatever. Just don't wear black. Whatever you do, just don't wear black.
Oh, man.
I saw one dude laying down with black clothes on. He said, I can't fucking move. I can't move. It's because someone in this dimension, like the church, is dressed in black, and if you wear black, you can't move in the other dimension. Yeah, no shit. And the goddamn Catholic priests don't fucking know that shit. They're wearing black, and they're fucking just slaves. Their souls are being taken from them. Their powers have been taken from them. Their image is being taken from them. And what they're doing is they're coming into the spirit world and they're fooling everybody in the church. Because they're not human no more. They're dead. They're alien, demons inside. Look, you know how people wear Halloween suits? These goddamn demons wear human faces and bodies like Halloween suits. No shit.
Yeah, it's all in the eyes. Look at the eyes.
No, you can't. In the spirit world, you can't tell. I'm telling you, it's very hard. Unless you can see like I can see. That's why I've seen them take me out. It's called terraforming. They took me out of my body, pulled my eyeballs out, and stuck it in their eyes. But they can't. Only, you see what I'm saying? But it's not my eyes that see, it's my brain. Because I was looking in the invisible dimension. I have seen some people sitting around, but only one person had a brain that was like lit up. It was all light. The other people, their brain was full of darkness. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, like negativity and those certain...
It's my brain that sees.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing so much research. One day, if you re-listen to some of the stuff I say, you're going to be more enlightened. The more you listen to this tape, you're going to wait. This is the reason why I do these things on the broad, talking to you on shows like this, because I'm trying to activate y'all. It's called I'm the activator. I have different names. They call me the savior. They call me the activator. All kinds of things. They call me good. They call me all kinds. I have all kinds of names. But I'm here. I know what I got to do. My mission is to activate y'all and wake y'all up.
Slap you in the face. Wake up. Ooh. It's time to wake up.
Well, religion, you don't want to be in religion because religion is all religion of mankind is controlled by the moon. Sin. Okay, I read some research that someone said the god of the moon is called sin. It's like, well, hell, they got that mixed up because one of the prophets was saying, hey, Yahshua is here to take away the sins of the world. Well, guess what? That's the God sin. And now they switched it up where, let's forgive your sins. You know what you do if you forgive sin? That means you forgive the God of the fucking devil, of the moon. You can't forgive sin. You understand? Look, I am an interpreter. I am one of a kind, and ain't nobody, nor God, nor angels, or powers or principalities can change what I'm saying. Sin, you cannot forgive sin. Sin is the devil. They tricked all of y'all. It's a fucking matrix we're living in. You see what I'm saying? So if you go around forgiving the sin of all the evil, the evil motherfucker that's called sin, and y'all go around forgiving this fucking asshole, that's the fucking trick. That's the biggest trick in the universe. Think about it.
Yeah, and a lot of people will say, Jesus, our brother, God's son, his only begotten son, like we're all his daughters and sons, but he is the one and only begotten. He's the one that went through all the turmoil, and I think a lot of us go through a lot of crazy shit like that, but he actually gave his life for us and for our sins. So I think that if you have it in your heart that you are trying to get past this, trying to grow from it, instead of it being a mistake, it's a lesson. You need to be forgiven of this, not only, for your soul, but for yourself. When you forgive other people, it's not for them, it's for you. It's for you to grow stronger from and build upon, and really nothing to do with that other person that hurt you or infringed upon you. It's about you healing as a person and getting rid of those burdens on your shoulders. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
This is the law of the land. This is law of nature, okay? If I go over there and poke your husband in the eyeball, you know who's the only one that's going to forgive me is your husband. No one else.
I
That's
don't
the
know.
law.
Maybe I'll hold a grudge against you, and I won't forgive you.
No outside person can forgive nobody from any bad bullshit, whatever.
Do you
This is the law.
know
I'm
that
telling you right now.
things that happen to people don't just affect that person, it affects so many. Even when somebody kills themselves, they're thinking they're ending the pain. No, they're not. They're passing it on not to just one person, but to many. You know, this shit spreads out like a really nasty, bad virus. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that does. Because if I go punch your husband in the eye, he has to forgive me.
Can I film it?
Forgive me. No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to give an example.
I know.
It's like a tree. It goes out like, oh man, you punched my son in the eyeball, you know, and it's like, yeah, it spreads out. So
But
all these people have the right to forgive within their heart, you know, and mind.
If they can. A lot of people can't.
So, but I hate to go into religion, you know, because...
Oh, it's all connected. All of this shit is connected in one way or another. You don't have to be deeply religious, but it does affect our lives in one way or another. Whether it's totally obtuse or totally like in your face or down your throat. But Robert was saying... The devil is a fallen angel created by the God you refer to. And that's why I was saying, like, even the devil can be forgiven. Yes, he's doing a lot of bad and incredulous things. And then he has his minions and, you know, his little demons out there to ruin our souls. That is their mission. To gain power and to ruin our souls.
Well, when I was talking to you about this, see, I had a revelation when we was talking about this point. When you go ahead, if you change that name from sin to the devil or, you know, the alien, whatever, we could make a bunch of Draco, reptilian aliens with the tongue. I have seen a damn tongue. I was driving through Sacramento, and this dude called Jesuit threw these spirits off the moon right over me. You know, I think the dude wanted me to get killed or something, or wanted me to see him. So I stopped my motorbike, and I'm looking at the city, and I see these bald-headed fucking egghead people, you know, like greenish, blue, whatever. And all at once, I heard this big thing from the mountain in front of me where I was going go woof, like a fucking dragon would do. Woof. I could hear the big wings, you know. And after the third time, it went over. Now, the reason why he flew was the red demons was on that ridge. They fell on that ridge right where the dragon was. So whatever it was, it looked like a dragon. And it was flying over them egghead people, and one of them dudes looked up, and a tongue come out of his fucking mouth, grabbed that damn dragon, and this fucking thing is huge, big, and sucked it in his mouth and starts eating and chewing. I could see him chewing it. He ate the goddamn thing. It was like, oh, shit, what the fuck? I said, you better turn your back.
You're gonna get some heartburn from that shit. You're going to get some heartburn from that shit.
So they wouldn't read my mind. You know, if I turn my back, because when you're looking face to face, you got connection. Connection could read people's minds.
And that's one of the things that scares me, because I tell people who have lost loved ones and stuff, you can say things to them out loud, but you don't have to, because how many times have our lost loved ones come into our head? Even though it may sound like us, we can tell by the caricature and whatever else is going on there that it's somebody else, even though it's in our own voice. But you can tell them in your head, you can tell them out loud. And spirits and demons and other things can pick up on that stuff too. That's what freaks me out. Because if you have a very powerful mind and you're able to telecommunicate with people, they can pick up on that shit. They're able to tap in and get in there.
Yeah, and then what happened next is I turned around and I said to myself, just bow down to them like, you know, the Japanese people do. You know, when they greet you, you bow down with your hands, like greeting.
Reverent.
So I did that, and then they had 12 of them or something, or what, I don't know how many. And I only could see 2, because I turned around. They must have hid, you know, and whatever. And I only seen 2 of them standing, and they were looking at me, and I bowed down to them, and one of them says, hey, should we go ahead and bow down to him? He says, fuck that. You know, he started cussing and saying, no, I ain't going to bow down to him. And you know what I said? I said, F you, motherfucker. And I went on my motorbike because I knew that fucking long, tongue could get me anyway, because my mind's computing, like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're like, I gave you that respect. You're going to disrespect me? Well, I'm going to take my respect back. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then I drove off on my motorbike, and in front of me I could see these red demons, and they were eyeballing me, and I know what the eyeball does. So I pulled off the highway, and I hid behind, some trees and shit. I said, oh, shit, I'm in a whole bunch of fucking trouble. I got fucking reptilians over here, and I got fucking red demons over here. And I started thinking, why would that fucking asshole throw them right over my fucking head, right in the city where I'm at, Either for me to see them, to make me believe that, hey, there's reptilians and demons on that, on the moon, or he wanted them to kill me. There was two outcomes I thought of. I don't know if I could think of a third one. So this, and the thing is,
it's possible it might just take a little extra time.
They said that goddamn Jesuit. They said. So I thought they were talking to me because they were looking at me. And then I realized it was that dude. He was like bigger than the moon. He was like taller. He was way bigger than the moon, and he threw them suckers over my head. So, ever since then, some shit. Oh man, I've been going through a lot of shit fighting. And
so do you think if you were like in a brick or adobe or some sort of structure as opposed to your van, you'd be safer than you are now? Or do you think it really doesn't matter where you're at, it's going to be the same effect?
Well, I kind of rather I'd be on my motorbike again. One time I camped out, and I could see through walls. I could see through mirrors. I did research in mirrors. See, that's a lot of things. I did so much research, scientific research. Every time I said, oh, I forgot to tell you about this and that. And then I said, oh, what about the mirrors? And what about seeing through walls and shit? I could see through the ceiling at night. I mean, one time I was at a place where some spirits were saying, oh, Odin's ravens are flying above us. And so I started looking through the ceiling, and I could see these two giant ravens. Gigantic, man. I mean, way up in space or whatever. And it was like, damn, man. It's like, damn. And then I was trying to move some spirits behind me in my rear mirror to try to throw them out as I'm driving or whatever. And not driving, but just doing it. And as I realized I was trying to move them, whatever was in front of me, my laser eyes was shooting through the mirror. It wasn't, doing the ricochet thing. It was actually going through the mirror. And I was moving something in front of me. And I said, holy shit, that's something in the mirror? So how in the hell am I I have a hard problem telling what's behind me or what's in front of me, because I could see through fucking mirrors too. It's fucking crazy. I mean,
that'd be a really good thing to have if you're like in an interrogation room and they have that double-sided mirror where they're just looking at you, trying to figure you out, and you're like, fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you, asshole. I'm innocent, okay? Leave me alone. That would be an awesome gift to have, and it kind of reminds me of Superman, X-ray vision. I can see through walls and stuff, and he's like, oh, was Superman a pervert? Could he see through clothes?
Well, that's
how far does it go, Mr. Robicheaux?
Well, that's why I'm about to go into Space Force, because these evil alien demons or, from the moon or whoever these are, people, I said, I might as well turn myself into the military. And the bad thing I didn't like when I was talking to this military dude, he said, we need to find out what's in you. It's like, oh, fuck, you're going to do some experiments on me. It's like, oh, fuck, you're not going to put me in no fucking little room and keep me as a fucking prisoner and, fucking trying to do experiments on me. I said, oh, shit. Oh, when he told me that, I said, motherfucker, I'm not human. I finally told him, I said, dude, I'm not human. Okay? And it's like when he told me that, Like, oh, fuck. There's two ways this could go. I could be a prisoner of the U.S. government, or I could work for them, you know. You see what I'm saying? That's the only two outcomes I got, really.
Well, I'm kind of excited about the perspective of, you know, this new Aero Force thing going on, the Space Force, because, you know, it seems like the sky's the limit, and different people with different gifts may be able to get in there as citizens, as opposed to, or civilians, as opposed to citizens. Well, so you're not in the military, but you're working on this other realm. It makes me wonder, like, what different things do they have going on? The space fairs is what Robert said. Yes, well, join the space fairs.
I'm probably going to be at the top of my field, you know, and they're probably going to learn a lot because, you know what, when they stole Nikola Tesla's work, they didn't have to pay a dime, you know.
No, they just waited till he was dead, went in, raided the place, and left three things of information for us. That was ridiculous. He had so many different crates full of information. They took all of them except for 3. Here, you guys can have these 3. We're going to take the rest. And you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, well, they could probably, they probably got some invisible analysts that's doing what I'm doing. But all the stuff I know is not taught. I'm self-taught, you know. So I might actually learn something from them. You never know. So, but it's going to be all top secret stuff. Like the dude told me, he said, you need to calm down, because I was like telling him a lot of stuff. He said, you need to calm down and don't tell nobody. Be quiet about this stuff. You know? So he must know that all the stuff I'm telling him is real, you know?
Yeah, and a certain amount of information can get you locked up. You know, it's pretty scary. It's better to be quiet and know what you know. You know, share your information with those close to you, but don't be sitting out there with a loud horn and saying it to the whole world. You have to protect yourself because the government doesn't like people like us.
That's what he was telling me. But the thing is, I'm not going to stop telling people on the podcast, you know, radio shows about what I know until they put me in the program, you know. And, you know, pay me or something, or, you know, I'm have to shut up then, because then I got to sign a contract, you know. Once you sign the contract and say, okay, I'm going to shut up, you know.
Sign your soul. I mean, your name on the line.
But, you know, since I'm you know, whatever, he was, the thing is, I was telling him I was going to be on your show, and he was telling me to be quiet, and it's like, hey, dude, look, I'm scheduled to do a show, and I've been on a lot of other shows besides this show, and it's like, I'm not going to stop doing it until y'all fucking give me a job.
Yeah, give me something, some sort of consultation prize. Give me a regular pay, you know, some sort of allowance or something for me to feel like keeping my mouth shut.
I'm not going to be like Nikola Tesla. You're going to wait till I die and then just record every goddamn thing I say, you know?
Yeah, lock yourself in a room, away from everything.
I could do things that's impossible. Really. Look, in this dimension, I could say a word. I could move fire, a lava, out of the universe and come right down on your fucking head. Just by saying it. No shit.
So what do you think of the whole aspect of us being in a matrix? Like, are we all just laying in a vessel with tubes running out of us and we're just having this weird and crazy and not so happy dream? Or what do you think is happening? Is this real life? Is this a matrix?
The aliens are trying to control this metric. That's why they're trying to figure out. See, your body is it's called the eternal dimension. When they tell you, oh, Jesus is going to give you eternal life, that's bullshit. We have been having eternal life. This dimension that's eternal,
or repeated lives,
eternal for fucking billions of years. So a lot of shit that everybody's fucking shitting out their fucking mouth is a bunch of bullshit. You know, eternal life. And the thing is, the aliens are trying to control the eternal life and shit. And that's the problem. You know, and the thing is, you know how they control it? They fucking make religion, and that's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
You give away your soul, you give away your powers, all that shit. I had to write my name down. I'm going to tell you something right now. I figured out when they said the beast is going to write his name on your hand and your forehead, I said, oh, shit, I remember that. So I started writing my name on my body. That's when they started attacking my body, trying to pull my leg off, trying to take my arm off, trying to take my hands, my head. Yeah, I started writing my name on my body. Then I got my body back. That's another thing I did. I mean, shit, I don't know how far I could go about saying stuff, but...
Well, was it kind of like Neal when he woke up and the world that he woke up into was like really desolate and crazy, like a nuclear war had happened? Or like, what was your experience when you did wake up? Did anything like severely change other than what you knew and believed, or did the world around you change as well?
Well, what I did was I had to deprogram myself with religion and civilization. Everything that religious people believe in, I disbelieved until I heard. One thing I heard about is the soul. You know, I don't believe a lot of things. Some dude said, oh, you fucking motherfucker, you stole my soul, you motherfucker. He was like pissed off at some dude.
Yeah.
And I finally realized.
You can't get that back.
In religion, well, it's not religion. It's actually the human race. They talk about this soul. Now, I can't tell you what it is. But I started calling back my soul. I started calling back my magic by using the word. I said, I want my magic back. I want my body back. I want my hands and all that stuff. And I was using the word. And when I used the word, it happened. I got my shit back. That's why they're trying to take it away from me again. You see what I'm saying? See, once y'all start doing this, you better be... You have to fight.
You better be
body.
ready and you better be strong, because...
You better be... Yeah, but you better learn what I'm telling you what to do. You better fight back, because once you get it back, they don't want to take it away from you again.
The main thing you have to remember is you are stronger than them. You are. No matter how much you don't believe it, you are stronger than them.
Because I have the word, honey. There's nothing stronger than the word.
That's right. Well, on that note, Mr. Neal Robicheaux, we do have to go to our second music break. We got Griff from Toronto, Canada, Chico from Milwaukee, Griff again. So we have Zoo, They Be On Me, Best Life, and then we have Fluid with I Love It. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this musical break.
Know that you man, but you can't read. Know that you man, but you can't read. Know that you man, but you can't leave.
You can't leave.
You're right where you wanna be. Time is right here with me. You're right where you wanna be.
Right with me.
You can be anything you want, if that's what you really want. You can be anything you want. All I want to do right now is leave it soon.
All I wanna do.
All I want to do right now is leave Not trying to lose my mind. Know that I am wasting time. Not trying to lose my mind. If you want, get left behind. In this rat race, go back to my place where I know it's safe. And lock myself in my room. Won't watch the news, cause it is a zoo. So confused, what can I do if I lose you? All I want to do right now is leave this room.
All I wanna do.
All I want to do right now is leave this room for good. Okay. She was a loompa loompa, now her body super duper. Getting a lot of attention she was never used to. Hitting me up like I was Uber. Got a few miles, so I guess she's a cougar. Real winner, never seen her with a loser. Gorilla talk, ooga booga booga. Scuba, tuba, diver, I'm a rider. Getting cider, sweet like cider. Fighter, fighter, rider. Neither wants to get it going. Know it, hold it, fold it, blow it. Wait, I'm joking. Cages broken from these beasts. From down east on the streets, it's a zoo. All I want to do right now is leave this zoo.
All I wanna do.
All I want to do right now is leave this zoo for good.
Hit the club, got chose like it's nothing. Mathematician when it come to getting numbers. I'm screaming, one. I feel like money, why? Cause they be on me, 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 why? They be on me, 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 why? I'm like, look up in the sky, that's a bird, no, that's a plane. Chico just that fly, so make it splurge and make it rain. I keep that Scrabble mind, I got words and I got game. And she like circle goggles, she got curves and she got frame. And if mama a rider, I'ma swerve all in her lane. She give me gobble gobble, she superb with that good brain. Now baby, bout that action, make them bird drive me insane. I'm a jigger, low in action, mama purchase this good thing. And fire your employees, you dealing with a boss. And kick it with a player, I got juice and I got sauce. You messing with them losers, I feel sorry for your loss. I'm a heartthrob, baby, I can feel your beating pulse. GQ, so you know this player's done. Hit the club, got chose like it's none. Mathematician when it come and getting numbers. I'm screaming, one, I feel like money, why? Cause they be on me, 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 why? They be on me, 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 why? Juice daddy, baby, looky here, looky here. Milwaukee bought them bucks, fear the deer, fear the deer. I'm feeling like a player, must be pure, must be peer. So let me drop this knowledge in your ear, in your ear. I'm driving your chick crazy, let me steal, let me steal. She crying like a baby, I see tears, I see tears. She thick from the front, I see rear, I see rear. I see me in them panties, I see
with a pirate. Ding dong, bitch, make her open, then I'm outie. I'm getting all in that belly, turned her into a Audi. GQ, so you know this player's done. Hit the club, got charged like it's none. Mathematician when it come to getting numbers. I'm screaming, one, I feel like money, why? Cause they be on me, 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 why? They be on me, 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 why?
Live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Do you and live your best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Where you from? Who you with? Are you a blood? Are you equipped? I do my thing, stay legit. In this world, no one's innocent. VIP, get bottles. One snap of my fingertips. See these haters like blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Talking gibberish. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Do you and live your best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Rolling and rolling and rolling SUV. Rolling and rolling and rolling with my homies. Rolling and rolling and rolling SUV. Rolling and rolling and rolling with my homies. I'm going to live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm going to live my best life. Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? I'm going to live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm going to live my best life. Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Do you and live your best life. Don't care if my head ain't right.
Buckets back to back like I was Stefan. Better yet, I'm Dale Jackson, so don't treat me like the next man. And I'm kind of a real big deal, so don't be out here second guessing. Anyway, I make my pay and live this California lifestyle. Sunshine, loud packs, and chicks that love to get wild. That's how we do it every day. Slipping, sliding through the traffic on a mission for the day. Clearing marks about my way. Really got no time for y'all today. And all the craziness y'all talk, but never get your story straight. See me out here living great. I don't give a about all that hates. And when it comes to kicking game, I give you all that you can take. Trying to do it big, got no complaints. Every morning eating steak. They say I'm wrong for showing out, but I'ma do it anyway. Plus and thing ain't nothing bitch, cause I can do it any day. And it don't matter where I go, I always represent the yay. I'm so in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. Boppers used to hate me, now they tell me I'm a tight now. Swagger through the roof, got everybody on my height now. So in love with this lifestyle. And I love it, and I love it, and I what I stand for. Stacking while I'm macking, trying to earn myself a couple Lambos. Yeah, you know them toys for them big boys. Emperor of sorts and all you other players decoys. Meaning you're not the real deal. Keep an appetite for dollars that I never miss a meal. All you suckers need to chill. I'm just trying to stack a meal and pull the baddest bras around and let show they sex appeal. Little bit of Netflix, then we chill. Lose them clothes, keep on them heels. Working like a 9 to 5 and go right back to chasing skrill. I bring that real, never that phony. BS, y'all be stressing, put it down just like an OG. Perform these cookies, take flight. Some of y'all just out here acting. I'm a boss in real life. I'm so in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. Boppers used to hate me, now they tell me I'm they tight now. Swagger through the roof, got everybody on my height now. So in love with this lifestyle. I love it, and I love it, and I love it. So in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. Keep it more 100 than a C note. Hall of Fame spitting, representing with these pimp quotes. Don't try to front, you know this shit's dope. Question is, will I ever fail? My answer is no. I make this hustling look amazing. Put it down, doper than a blunt of purple hazing. Spicy on the mic, I bring the fire like a Cajun. Scoville's making haters sweat when I be blazing. Leaning to the side, haters everywhere. Yeah, I hear them talking, but they simply wasting air. Can't understand the reason that they stay in my affairs. But I'm major with my movements, getting money everywhere. I'm so in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. Boppers used to hate me, now they tell me I'm they type now. Swagger through the roof, got everybody on my height now. So in love with this lifestyle. And I love it, and I love it, and I love it. So in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. So in love with this lifestyle. And I love it, and I love it. So in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for listening tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Tonight we have Mr. Neal Robicheaux, and we are talking about otherworldly beings as well as aliens, demons, angels, and the other realm. Welcome back, Neal, and thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, we haven't been talking about the angels since you mentioned that. I was in some places where I actually seen angels, and I actually pulled one out the ground because they were trying to get into the Holy Sepulchre. That's another thing. Oh, yeah, the Holy Sepulchre. And I actually pulled one. I was like seeing something in the distance, and I was like throwing them out the earth, like from far, far away. And I threw an angel up. And the thing is, I saw the spirit saying, hey, catch him. Look, there's an angel. So they're trying to catch the angel. So this planet is not safe for angels right now.
Yeah, could you imagine if a demon caught an angel, what the bounty would be, what their prize would be? It'd be epic.
Yeah, they wanted a lot of money. I mean,
it's like winning the lottery.
And I actually seen them. They have wings. I mean, I was amazed by the angels. One time I seen some angels, and they said, oh, we are the real angels. So there's false angels that the aliens had created to fool us, but there are the real ones. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but the bad thing is, for me, even though I do see, how in the hell am I going to be able to tell if it's a good angel or a bad one or a fake one, you know, or the real one, you know? That's a very, you know, you're going to have to ask certain questions and, you know.
So as far as like fallen
answers.
Angels, when you see fallen angels or demons or whatever, do you ever see nubs? Like, you hear a lot of talk about fallen angels having their wings cut. Do you see nubs coming out of their shoulder blades, or does that not show up because they wear trench jackets, or, you know, what happens with fallen angels? How can you tell it is like a fallen angel or demon or whatever the hell you want to put the label on it as?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. That's the problem. I'm the one that sees, and what I'm saying is, the aliens got technology. It could be a hologram. You know, you don't know. It could be a clone. I'm gonna give you an example. If you clone humans in religion to believe in Jesus or God and all this bullshit, I mean, they're brainwashed. So they're gonna do that's a false angel, the false human, whatever. But if you have an angel or a human that knows the truth, that's not a real. You know, they're not real because they're controlled by religion. So I'm the real one because I went into nature. So I'm the real prophet, if you want to call me a prophet.
Well, I think like angels are built a certain way, and they're not supposed to be jealous. But I really do feel like a lot of angels are jealous of us because we do get to have this experience and so many different activities that are pleasurable, and they don't get to. So I think some angels are very angry at us, and some angels are really there doing their job and pulling for us. So I don't know. It makes me wonder.
No, they're not really. No, they're not angry at us or nothing because they're more.
I think some of them are jealous. Like, I think they were the ones that did not fall, but they still have that jealous tendency. Like, you get to have sex, you get to have kids, you get to feel love of your kids, and whatever else.
If the angel comes down on earth to save somebody, okay, it's because he either was told to, or in his heart he knew he needed to come save this person. You got to understand, we're behind enemy lines. So, look, the angels, honey, the angels are not jealous of us. We're slaves. We're blind. We're lesser than angels. I mean,
in a sense, but at the same time, like we have...
Humans are less. Whatever's first is last now. And whatever was last is first. So being a slave,
so now you're trying. Now, right now, to me, you sound like a military person that is saying civilians are last, citizens are first. That's just like angels are first, and humans are last. I think that we get to have different experiences that they don't get to have, and that's what my point was. They don't get to.
When I'm talking about angels, okay, I love my angels, okay?
Mm-hmm. They're beautiful. I love them too.
When they come risking their lives to save a human, it's only because they were told to, or in their heart, they had to, okay? Because humans were behind enemy lines. We're slaves. We're the blindness of mankind. I write on my Twitter a lot and Facebook. I said, the blindness of mankind. We're slaves of this evil alien race or whatever. And, everything we were taught that you're not greater than angels. I'm telling you. A slave.
No, I'm not saying that, but we get to experience.
DNA. Imagine if an angel had 6 DNA.
I never said.
Humans only have 2.
I never said that we were greater than angels. I just said that we get to experience a lot more in the human realm than angels get to. Yes, they can vicariously live through us because they're watching over us and seeing what we're doing, but they don't get to personally experience having children or having sex or an orgasm or different things like that.
They have children. They have everything y'all have, but
they have like adoptable children, children that we've had and they've taken to heaven, not their own children. You know what I mean? It's a little different for them than it is for us. It's that way for a reason.
Why I was talking like a military person, because angels are so special to me. Because
I love angels, and I'm not talking bad about them. I love them so much for what they do. They save our asses so many times.
I saw an angel come down from heaven, and he was killing himself because he was religious. Either I don't know if he was a Christian or a Catholic, but he had a big axe, and he was chopping his ass up. He was chopping up himself.
Yeah.
And I saw this, and I was like, oh, my God. And he was like saying it. I said, I got to chop myself up, and I got to go back up to heaven or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw an angel kill himself because he was brainwashed in religion, and he had the same power as the angel up above. So he had to come down and kill himself. I actually saw that happening. It was like,
Yeah,
oh my
and it's
God.
not
And
because he
I was
had
like,
to. It was for whoever he was looking over or whoever he's trying to protect.
well, no, someone either told him to do it or he knew he had to do it.
I
Well,
think
you
it's
know.
because he knew. I don't think he'd do it because somebody told him to. Although
Well, you gotta
angels are at
understand,
a different stance than us, you know? So it could be.
knowledge of angels and humans, I'm going to give you an example. If it's 100% of knowledge of humans that what they know, which is not much at all.
I know.
And you got
10% of the brain.
knowledge. If angels have 100,000 knowledge or a million, whatever it is, I don't know. Probably a lot. I mean, 100 parts of knowledge, like Stone Age bullshit, of, blind humans, can't see a damn thing, can't live long enough to fucking...
cave
You live
dwellers.
as long as a fucking fly. I mean, you're not superior over angels. I'm telling you. No way.
You know what? And it kind of
mean,
freaks me out about, like, you're talking about cavemen and stuff like that, like where we used to dwell underground and so on and so forth. Why did we do that? Did we have, and I think we have gone through the process of nuclear disaster repeatedly, and it makes me wonder, were cave dwellers because of us having a nuclear disaster back then, and they went into a cave, they survived, and now they have to start from the bottom and build their way up, and maybe that's perhaps why we got further along in the human process as far as technology and such afterwards? Or is it because aliens came into our lives and shared their information while we shared our humans? It's so many questions.
Well, I was on the coast. I was on the coastline of California one time, and they had a World War I plane flying over the coast. I was like, "Wow, man, look at that! That's pretty damn cool." And a spirit was laughing at me, laughing because he heard what I said. He said there had over 28 world wars on this planet, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I thought there were just 4. Because in the book of Daniel, it's talking about 4 kingdoms that took over the planet. So that's
we've repeatedly done this to ourselves. We've repeatedly destroyed ourselves.
On this planet?
Yes.
Oh, man.
It's
and that was
insane.
like mind-blowing. I said, damn, I can't wait to tell people. And I finally remembered because we were talking about certain subjects, about world wars and stuff.
Yeah, and what really freaks me out is that we've done this repeatedly.
World wars?
Yeah.
That doesn't include World War I and World War II, honey. I'm talking about a world war is worlds fighting each other. It's not land.
And I even called it. I was saying earlier this year, it's going to be Russia, China, and the USA. And now it's happening, Russia's back there kind of being a puppet master. America and China are going at, look at how they're flying over Taiwan. We're about to go into a whole new World War, boys and girls. I hate to say it, and I'm so glad I'm not, and my kids are not a part of the military right now. But I guarantee we're about to go into a whole new world war, and it's going to include America, China, and Russia.
Well, I think Russia is going to be on our side because...
no, I think they're going to go with China because they're sick of our shit and our disrespect, and they just want to be rid of us. They want to take over and govern and just be rid of our government. They hate it. They hate it.
Well,
they can't stand it.
I'm hoping that they're playing the game because I told the FBI like 4 or 5 years ago, I said, look, we need to evacuate fucking... and I was trying to stop the World War. I knew China, we were going to have a war with them. I said, well, if we're fighting this invisible dimension in the cities, if we evacuate the cities, this was in my mind, if we evacuate the cities and fucking napalm and blow up the fucking buildings and level it all off, shut all the valves off with gas and all that shit, and then they're going to say, China's gonna say, what y'all not telling us? You know,
What you stole away? What you?
The whole neighborhood burnt up with lasers coming down on California, and no trees were burning. It wasn't a forest fire. I was looking at the videotape, lasers coming down in California, and I saw a laser had a fucking alien, looked like an Egyptian with a long cone head, you know, like the Egyptian dude has, and fucking had him pinned down with a fucking laser. I saw it on video because I could see invisible dimensions. I investigated. Yeah, I do research and I investigate things like that fire that was in California. I saw, I'm not joking, I'm going to say it again. I saw a fucking alien.
No, and I'm so glad you.
He must have been 15 foot tall with his long fucking head, whatever, big, muscle, you know, big, giant motherfucker.
Right.
And it laser just pounding his ass. You know, had him pinned down on the ground. I saw it with my own eyes. You know?
Well, yeah, and also in the fires in Oregon and Washington, there were helicopters that took nets out that had Bigfoot bodies in it because they didn't want people to find Bigfoot remnants. So they're like, hey, we got to haul this out because we've been lying about this the whole time. You know, there's so much shit that they lied to us about. It's insane.
I'm going to give you an example. There's like 40 houses. What if the government went in there, took all the people out, but they had to do a surprise attack, though, too. The humans might have died in the houses, though. And they shot them up in buildings or whatever aliens that were living in these people's houses. The people were already dead anyway. That's what they say. You know, and I think I know what they're thinking. And if they all died, that's okay. But if they went in there and took all the people out and said, you got to move underground. We're going to say that you died in the fire, you know, and stuff like that. That could have happened, too.
No,
I'm telling you, I saw a fucking laser shooting that fucking big old motherfucker. Someone was shooting. I don't know who was shooting, but it was coming down on his ass.
Well, remember that Hollywood one where the UFOs came down and there was, like, not just guns, but very, very fucking large artillery shooting at these UFOs. And there was pictures of it in the Los Angeles Times. So it's just like, this actually fucking happened. Many people witnessed it. But it's that whole shoot first, then ask questions later. I think if we would try to be diplomatic and talk and do certain things from the get-go, we'd be better off instead of being like, oh, yeehaw, look, there's a UFO, let's shoot at it. And then you shoot at it, and then you try to talk. You can't do that shit. You gotta be diplomatic and try to speak with people or aliens or whatever the race may be and go from there.
Well, all the smart aliens know that this planet's been taken over, so they know this is a danger zone. If you go, they got invisible cloaking things too. What, 2006, I forgot it was, they had a planet decloaking itself. Stereo A and Stereo B is on the other side of the sun, away from the Earth, right? The Earth is here, the sun's in the middle, and they got these two satellites filming everything. They see this planet decloak itself. It's called the dark sun because it's big as the sun, our sun. That's how big it is. I saw it decloak itself. Something big like Jupiter maybe went inside of it, and then it disappeared again. And then one of the UFO dudes, NASA or whoever, said, oh, that was just a bullshit glitch. That was some kind of weird shit that happened that, you know, it wasn't real. And he shut up. They paid him off. The dude in Hawaii that does UFO shit. And he was like agreeing with that shit. And I watched the video. That's bullshit. That planet wasn't spinning like the sun. It was rolling. You see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, is that like when people were saying there was two suns? One was brighter than the other, but this one was getting...
around it and
it started with an N.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember. It started with an N. That's all I remember.
So they can't say it was the sun because the sun don't have clouds around it. But I I don't know if I could find it on YouTube. It might. I don't know if they took it off. But I actually looked at the video, and actually the what was it? The Norway Spiral in 2009. I watched that video, so I did a lot of research on a lot of shit that was going on at the time, 2009. And when they did that spiral, it opened. It had plasma and these lasers spinning in circles like that. It opened the earth, the sky up. It opened a veil. It's called the veil, really. It's really a veil that you can't see beyond with the naked eye. And once it opened up, I saw it like 7 times. The last time I saw it, I finally saw a black moon. It almost looked like a metal. It was black. And it was a fucking circular thing. And I think it was a spaceship. Really.
Fucking graphite moon.
Or amethyst. It was like amethyst. And
Ooh,
the thing
that
is,
makes sense.
if this moon circles the Earth at nighttime, you can't see it. But if it's in daytime, you can. But if you look at the moon, no one really did research on the moon. I did research on the moon. The circular pattern.
All they do is like take dust and rocks and stuff like that.
Look, I want you to listen, though. The circular pattern of the moon is not the same as the Earth. It's an invisible planet that does that. It's not the Earth. Because if you look at an eclipse, the eclipse is like really small, like a magnifying glass. It's like really small. It only does a little part of the Earth. So it's impossible. Plus, the shadow cannot be in a 90-degree angle. The Earth is here and the moon is over here where you see the moon and the sun at the same time.
And I've seen UFOs come off the moon too. I'm like,
get it out.
It's like a refraction of the sun's energy, and these different UFOs like hang out under the moon. That's where I've gotten pictures of them. They look like kaleidoscope swirly durlies, but there's UFOs that do connect to the moon, refracting the sun's light, because the sun's light and power is so immense. If you get next to the sun, you might get sucked in. So I think smaller vehicles go to the moon to get the sun's power because it refracts the energy from the sun. Instead of them going to the sun and trying not to get sucked in, they just go to the moon instead. What do you think about that?
Well, they had this spaceship had a vacuum cleaner thing, and it was like round. Usually they're round because if you build a swimming pool, anything that's round or in a circular thing, it's stronger. It's the structure of it's stronger because it's hard to penetrate. You could have a force field and stuff. But they had something, this spaceship giant thing, whatever it was sucking plasma out of the sun. You know, so the gravitational pull of the sun is very strong too. But if you have a spaceship like that, it's not going to affect it. You know.
Yeah, if you have a larger one, I could see that your propulsion systems and stuff like that could keep you from getting sucked in. But I could see how the smaller crafts would go to the moon and suck energy from there instead. It makes total sense to me now that, I thought of it tonight. Because I really didn't think about that aspect of it before.
You got to worry about the black holes. That's the things that...
Oh, yeah, we got a really big one out there, huh?
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of this thing. But the things that created this universe is gigantic. I mean, these things are bigger than the black holes. I did research in outer space stuff, and I was because I could see infrared, night vision stuff. These beings, whatever they are, they're fucking huge. Okay, their eyeball can be a black hole. I mean, that's how big they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to work for NASA or Space Force or something, but I might have a chance if this dude comes through. But I'm not. He told me to be quiet, but I was already scheduled to talk to you about this stuff. So
He's like, Neal, just shut your fucking mouth.
yeah, he was
I
saying,
can't.
"You need to
I
be
have
quiet."
one more gig. One more gig, then I can shut the fuck up.
And they might make it urgent. Says, look, we're gonna have to give this dude a job just to shut him up. You know.
Well, I don't think we're gonna hurt anything on this wee little station here, but you never
all the things
know.
I'm talking about, everybody knows, Tessa. They know
I think so
about
too.
the
I
Norway-
do.
the Norway
Robert
thing.
does. Sandra does. Like, we've all seen and experienced all this shit. So we're just like, yeah, we know what you're putting down right there. This shit is actually happening.
Yeah. The things I'm talking about is a lot of people already know about this. You know?
We do.
So, but one thing's good. I would love to fucking work for the face. Talk to an alien for one time. For real.
Wouldn't that
I
be
got a
intriguing?
chance.
I wonder what their buffet looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go to the dinner table because I might need some dinner.
Right? You'll be the monkey's head sticking out of the table. That sort of shit worries me, but I don't know. It was when my kids told me about their shared experience. Okay, so I'm working security, and I would call my kids every night and tell them good night and talk about the dreams the night before and stuff like that. And Lily's like, Mom, guess what? So I had this dream. There was a UFO, and it showed up right behind the house, which is right here, catty corner from my office, about 5 feet away. And she said the UFO came down, and me and Floyd were holding hands, and then this alien held our hands and took us onto the ship. And then it started to raise up, and Floyd jumped out because the gate was not completely closed. And she said, so I jumped out because he jumped out, and we were running, and then Floyd tripped, and then Floyd piped up and said, I didn't trip, you tripped. And she's like, no, you tripped. And so they're arguing back and forth, and then they get past it, and then we ran away from the ship and went back in the house and blah, blah, blah. And then Lily started laughing, and she's like, remember when you jumped on that alien's head? And he's like, yeah, that was so freaking funny. And for me, it was just like, this was not a dream. This was a shared experience that they had. My son has 6 fingers on his right hand. He has 2 thumbs. He has a genetic anomaly. And Indians back in the day used to... Go ahead.
Let me tell you about my last encounter with aliens in a spaceship. At this place, and I woke up and I saw this werewolf dude. It was a white man. You could tell he had white skin. And he had, dark hair, like a werewolf man or whatever.
Right.
And he got out. He moved away from me, and he got into this ship. And they had another werewolf dude right next to him. There was 2 of them. And behind him was some people with these suits was made out of light. They were really tall. I couldn't tell if they were aliens. They kind of looked like humans, but they were very tall, and they were behind them. And then they were, I could tell they was in a spaceship because it was like a carnival ride where they put he put the big seatbelt on him,
Right.
And after that, it was like, I didn't see nothing else. I didn't see them take off, but they were in the building. And one thing's weird about spaceships is how can they could be in a physical building at the same time. I think a spaceship would land in the backyard or something like that, but they were actually in the building. And I was like, oh, man. And then one night I woke up when the COVID thing happened, and I had a shot in my arm. I only got the COVID shot from the aliens or whatever, I think. Because they didn't want me to die, I think.
Thanks a lot, bitches.
Yeah, I woke up and I fucking had how you got a needle mark in your fucking arm? I woke up one morning and I said, what the fuck is this pain? I said, that feels like a needle mark. It's like,
well, a lot of
so
people get freaked out about it because they're like, oh, it's going to put the virus in my body and I'm going to mutate it and spread it to others. But it just basically gives you the blueprint for it so your body can fight it, can know how to fight it. It's giving you a game plan. But I still am on the fence. I still have not done it. I'm still too chicken shit. Have you done it?
What's that now? What I've done?
Have you done the vaccination?
No, I haven't, because
Me neither.
When they gave me the shot in February or whatever, when that shit started happening, I don't think I need it.
Well, I'm kind of freaked out because I think I already got it. It was the February before it totally came out and broke out. I know it was here before they said it was. But I got it in February, and I was so sick that I was in bed for over a week, and then I was like, telling myself, hey, I can't do this, I have to get up, I have kids, gotta get them off to school, so on and so forth, I gotta pack their treats and whatever, so I would get up and try to do things, and then I would get super winded, get super lightheaded, I'd have to sit down for quite a while before I could get up again, and I'm pretty sure I already had this fucking shit. So it's like, if you're giving vaccinations, are the people that are having adverse effects to this vaccination people that have already had it? Or is it something else?
Well, I'm a psychic. I'm going to tell you what happened. I listened to a general, like a four-star general, retired general, and he said, look, we're not that naive. The way it spread so fast and they kept it quiet, this was actually a biological attack from the Chinese. And they were trying to do experiments, and they had a plan, if it is let out in their country, that they would spread it all over. I mean, imagine a bunch of Chinese with a bunch of spray bottles just spraying this fucking shit all over the place, That's the way I see it happening. And the general said, we're not that naive. We know what happened. And he was talking about the COVID thing. So I could read the dude's mind. It says, this was actually a biological attack. And a year before that shit happened, I was on, what's the name of? Not Tom Cruise, shit.
Dr. Phil?
Shit happens, and what's his name?
Joe Roop.
Yeah, I told them about, we're going to get attacked by China by biological or nuclear or or we're going to have like
biological weapon
invasion by aliens, and we're going to destroy China. But and I felt it. I mean, I never felt something so strong. When you feel something so strong and something's going in your mind, and I told people a year before it happened, and then year after, I said, didn't I tell y'all that shit was going to happen? And it happened.
Didn't I tell you?
So, but they're still thinking about doing a fake alien invasion and just destroy China.
Well, Taiwan right now is looking at being attacked by China because Taiwan separated from China. But seriously, like, China's coming back. They've been flying over them with their military aircraft repeatedly, and they're just basically threatening them and telling them, you need to become a part of us again. And they're like, fuck you. We don't want to be a part of you again. And so what do? So we are friends with them. So if anything goes kaput, we gotta go over there and fucking clean house again. Here we go. And this is where I think our third world war is coming in. Third World War is going to be between China, America, and then Russia will not be able to keep its fucking little head out. And so it's going to be a world war between all of us. It's coming up soon, folks. I don't know. I need to go and stock up on my groceries. That's what I know.
Well, the best thing to do is get the the aliens to help us, and then they come in and fucking destroy all China's bullshit, whatever, and then we get blaming on the aliens, you know. So,
well,
so
you know,
that's
the decree of, you know, as not Star Wars, it's Starfleet. You cannot interject on certain societies. Well, it's the Starfleet.
But
Okay,
the bad thing is,
Star Trek is
the
what I'm
aliens
talking about.
might come down if they want China to rule over us. They could do the same thing to us. So, I mean.
Yeah, and what I was talking about was the Starfleet, like Star Trek.
But that's
you
not
cannot
that's not
interrupt.
That's not going to be a fake invasion. That's going to be a real invasion of aliens. That's going to come on and do whatever they're going to do to us. That's another possibility too, because I don't know if the Federation of Light of the galaxies are ready to save us now. You don't understand the cost of a battle, Star Wars battle. They might lose too many ships trying to save us. So they're going to say, well, they're not worth saving, you know, because they're blind to DNA people anyway. So that's the way they're going to look at it.
Well, yeah, and you say, I don't understand, but I do. It's all about the space fleet. These vehicles cost billions and trillions of dollars to fly across the universe, you know. It's not cheap to fly a spacecraft, really. A lot of people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But these things do exist. I know they do, because I've seen them. Like you said,
I was driving to California one time from the East Coast or whatever, and I saw a big giant cigar spaceship, bigger than the moon. It was in front of the moon, and the only part you could see is the North Pole and the South Pole of the moon, and all at once it started putting out this gas. And all the spirits were saying, it's poisonous gas, and they were like choking and gagging, and this big ship was putting out this gas, and I called the FBI, and I says, look, dude, man, they got some shit look like it's falling on top of Los Angeles, and they're you know, because the moon ain't that far away from Earth. All that gas looked like it was coming down on Earth, too, because I could see the dimensions, you know. The moon ain't that far away. So all the spirits were gagging and spitting up, and there's a war between the moon and the earth, the spiritual war, and it's been going on for a long time. Because I saw, in the spaceship, people were involved, the aliens. So I don't know if the earth was kicking their asses or something, and they had to fucking fog them, you know, choke them up with the gas. And when I told the FBI dude, he said, he was like worried. I could hear, you know, I could sense him. He was like fucking worried. He didn't know. And it's like, well, you need to call the NASA. And I called him back. I said, I can't get in touch with NASA. I said, I'm not your errand boy. You fucking call NASA, you know? And it's like, they knew that shit happened. The funny thing is, why didn't they have no films about that? That should have been on front CNN or any goddamn news. You could clearly see a fucking spaceship up there in front of the moon putting out that gas. I mean, I can't believe how secret this shit is. That should have got out. That should have been on front page news with cameras taking photographs. You know, NASA should have photographs of that shit. The thing is, I called the FBI and told them, you know.
Like, listen here, motherfuckers. This is what is about to
happen. That's why they're monitoring me. They know everything I say. They probably got they call them handlers. They listen to everything you fucking say.
Well,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure if they listen to me, they're pretty fucking bored.
Oh no, all the shit I say ain't boring. It's fucking. I think it's
no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. If they're listening to me, they must be pretty fucking bored. I ain't too proud to admit it. All right, so we have T-minus 10 minutes and counting before we're over and out. is there anything else that we have not talked about that you would like our listeners to hear?
We only got 10 minutes?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I'm with the Open Eye Project. I started this thing on Facebook and stuff. I had a name called Holy Sepulchre. I was driving the desert. I remember this. I need to talk about this. The Holy Sepulchre is a name I heard from a mountain spirit that was, the mountain spirits are still alive. Even though they're solid rock, I don't know if the spirits wants to stay with the body. Sometimes the spirits don't want to leave the body, maybe, and they want to stay on Earth. And I was driving by, and he says, I've been looking for the Holy Sepulchre, and it's for over 170,000 years. That's like 6 digits. 170,000 years he's been looking for the Holy Sepulchre. And it's spelled scepter with a C-U-R at the end of it. S-C-E-P-T-E-R. And I looked it up in the dictionary. This word doesn't exist. So all the knowledge of mankind, they have names out there that y'all never heard of, and this is one of them. And I know it is. So the Holy Sepulchre has been with me probably since I've been a kid, babe, born on earth. I don't know. I guess the Holy Sepulchre doesn't want to leave the earth, and it's trying to still protect the earth somehow, So I guess I'm stuck on this earth until I leave. I would love to go ahead and steal a spaceship and haul ass to fucking Saturn.
Right? Let's go to the next nebula. Get the fuck away from here.
I want to get the hell away from this earth. But now, and fucking, the reason why I'm telling people that and I'm on radio shows is because if I don't tell the truth before I leave to a blind slave planet of humans, y'all would not know that y'all DNA was changed and that you're slaves, And that's about the most awful thing to tell somebody, but...
Well, and when you say that, I'm pretty certain a lot of us know that. For example, my daughter Nova, she knows beyond a shadow of a doubt because she can't even really process everyday life. We've had issues with her through school for so many fucking years because it's just too much for her. She cannot digest it. She cannot handle it. It's her last year. I'm hoping we can get through this, but holy shit, it's hard.
Well, my reality is so real and so perfect and so God-giving, holy sepulchre kind of thing where, I actually tell people there's no God, nor angels or powers or principalities that can tell me that I'm a liar. But I could tell all the prophets of the Catholic Church and the Christians that y'all fucking stupid and y'all blind and y'all don't know what y'all dealing with on this planet. Okay? And I used to be like y'all until I woke up. And then my eyes were open and then I could see things and stuff. So, it's really a sad story, but it's kind of it's kind of beautiful too, because I'm here to serve. There's a greater person that serves than the one that is being served. The one that sits at the dining table and gets served by the one that serves people is greater than the one that gets served. And I don't think y'all understand that yet, but I'm here to serve y'all and save you. So that's about the last words I got. I mean,
well, yeah,
how many more minutes you got?
Well, I'm picking up what you're putting down as far as there's nothing on earth that is more frugal and gifting than the service of our fellow man. You know what I mean? To serve your fellow man and help each other out, like, that's the best thing that we can do for each other, I think. That's where I've gotten a lot of my healing as far as through this human process. But yeah, we have, let's see, about 6 more minutes, I think, before we have to go.
Yeah. Well, I want to bless everybody. I mean, I hope the truth comes out soon, because the longer y'all don't hear my message, the longer y'all going to be enslaved. It's like an alcoholic. If you don't know you're an alcoholic and you don't admit that you're an alcoholic, you don't know you're an alcoholic. Until y'all realize y'all slaves and y'all blind, y'all don't know yet. The greatest thing is to know the truth. And the truth, I have come to spit it out or spill the beans or whatever.
The truth shall set you free.
Yeah. Yeah, but they got an evil truth out there, too, that's posing. You got to remember, every good name, there's a name game out there. You can't trust nobody's name.
Well, yeah, and like you're saying, there's a truth out there already. Is that the pretended truth that everybody could subscribe to? Like, you know, there's so many different truths out there. Which one should we be following?
Like the false truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then there's the real truth. And I mean, David Wilcock and that Corey Good, I mean, it's really sad. This dude, he thinks he's a prophet or some kind of guru, and he is so crazy. I saw him, last time I saw him, he was screaming out that Jesus Christ name like some demonic possessed person. And it was like, oh my God, they're filming that shit? And the dude looked like he was fucking psychotic. I mean, I'm psychic. I see a lot of these spirits. They're fucking nuts. These alien, demonic forces or whatever are, I could see their mind. And when you can see in someone's mind, you know the truth about who they are. And brainwashed is brainwashed. But psychotic brainwashing, oh man, that's worse. Oh man, that Corey Good, I mean, he might even fucking find out what I said about him, but Corey Good or David Wilcock, I mean, and they want money. That's all they want. It's like a fucking some kind of religion or some kind of
money.
Yeah, you know. But he's a good researcher. I was a fan of the dude long ago when he was younger, but now the shit he's doing, man, he's going way out of it. All his prophecies never came true. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, you're like, sorry, buddy. Maybe next lifetime, okay? Don't feel bad on yourself. You know, just finish out this lifetime. Perhaps it's next lifetime where you'll come through and you'll do what you need to do. But, yeah, it's so sad when that happens. It's like, I'm sorry. You'll be okay.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to watch people that do that shit. I mean, I've been to some conferences where I was watching this guy, and he just making a fool of himself. Really, I mean, it's pretty much embarrassing. And, you know, I looked at myself. I said, you know what? If I wouldn't have woke up, I would probably be just like him. You know, if I wouldn't, you know, a lot of people say, do you regret waking up? And sometimes I regret it because I'm going through so much physical pain because these evil fuckers are attacking me. But then I said, you know what? I don't regret it. Because if I was like that other dude acting like a fool on camera, I mean, that's fucking embarrassing. Because another 100 years, everybody was going to talk about this dude saying, dude, this dude is fucking psychotic. Fucking crazy religious person. I mean, they call them gurus or whatever,
Guru Chakra.
Trust me, you know what I'm going to do with You don't want to do what this dude's doing. Especially if you're being filmed. It's embarrassing.
That is so true. Okay, so once again, before we go to the end of our time, where can they find your book online?
Oh, it's on Amazon. It's on ebook. I haven't even seen if I even sold it. I haven't advertised it. I just put it on there. And then I did the thing, the American book writers, the Writer Guild, whatever it is, in Los Angeles, just to record some of the stuff. And I did stuff on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, like the Round Table. I did some videos on that. And I did videos on YouTube, too. You know. That way I could record everything in case something happened to me where I just fucking, oh, the aliens took me.
Well, I just want to thank you so much once again, Mr. Neal Robicheaux, for being on the show tonight and joining us on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. It was a pleasure having you for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Neal. And thank you to all of our friends on We Are Paradox Media's KPNL Radio, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, iHeartRadio, and wherever else you may be listening beyond the Omniverse tonight. I had a wonderful time, and I can't wait to do it again. Tomorrow night, we have Mr. Catan, Miss Mia Savage, and other special guests with UFOs and us. Because you know what? UFOs are becoming a big part of our life these days. So make sure you guys tune in. And don't forget, we are all in this together. Together, we can make the world a little better. And together, my friends, we are Paradox Media, because without you, there is no us. So I'd like to thank our sponsors. We have our musical sponsor, Mr. Roy Washington. And then our patrons, we have Mr. Jim Morris of the Scottish Isles, Mr. Del Elson, Mr. Kevin McDougall, and Miss Mia Savage. If you guys would like to join us on the Skype after party, look me up and send me a contact request at Tessa Nicole Thomas or Tessa.N.Thomas30, or give us a little jingle jangle at 970-335-9596. Thank you guys so much again for joining us this evening. Nighty night, love and light. Take care of my yous.